Nice. Hey, welcome back to Digs on Switch. Back today with a co-host stream with Nick C.
Hello.
From MTG Mate. This is a Dryad Titan lick
Oh,
deck list, which Nick plays in paper and has for a little bit. So, Nick, do you want to kind of go over the deck and why you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's not a well-kept secret that I'm a big fan of Primeval Titan. I play Scapeshift in Modern, and I sort of find myself playing a lot of Chalice style decks where you just Chalice people and then do the thing that you want to do rather than play blue in Legacy. And so, like, the point of this deck is that you want to try and kill them with a Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which makes all your lands into mountains, and Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. And Primeval Titan will usually help you search out the Valakuts, but, you know, if you have one piece without the other, you can sort of do a couple of things there. So if you don't have the Dryad, you can get Field of the Dead to make tokens, and if you don't have the Titan and you have the Dryad, you can still just play lots of lands and have Valakut trigger. But yeah, this deck ticks a lot of boxes for me. I love Cavern of Souls decks.
Yeah.
I love not having my spells counted, not worrying about it, and you get lots of value out of it because both Titan and Uro are giants.
Yeah, very cool. That's sick. And it does use the graveyard a little bit with Ramanap, which is nice. So you can have things like the Wasteland lock or just making sure you're dropping lands every turn, which is pretty important for this deck.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, if you have like a Ramanap and a Dryad out, you can just fetch all the things as well. Because you can keep playing your fetch lands, and then each fetch land will trigger Valakut twice.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can like just get full Valakut triggers out of one fetch land.
Yeah, that's sweet. And you were saying before that the deck doesn't play the full 4 Mox Diamonds because you do have your Ancient Tomb starts, which are pretty strong.
Yeah. So you want to try and get 2 mana on turn 1. So the Mox Diamond sort of gives you more outlets to it, but the Ancient Tomb is sort of the stronger card. You don't have to discard a land to it or anything like that to play a Chalice, and you can lead with an Ancient Tomb and then play like a Dryad of the Elysian Grove the next turn afterwards. And sometimes you can get like really lucky and get both Ancient Tomb and Mox Diamond and just play Dryad on turn 1.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. What are you looking for in an opening hand?
So typically you want to have something to like interact with your opponent. So like you want to have like a Chalice of the Void is the main one. And against certain decks you'll just mulligan, I think, into Chalice because it's just such the matchup is a lot easier if you stick it.
Yeah.
Especially against things like Delver and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then typically you want to have some sort of like action piece. So like maybe you're building towards a Titan, or maybe you have like an Uro to sort of get you a little bit further ahead. I'll also happily accept hands with Sylvan Library because like that'll just help you draw more cards. And Green Sun Zenith is great too.
Yeah, Green Suns is a card that I enjoy playing. But it's really nice in here. We still got like a small Green Suns package of some hate bears like Scavenging Ooze. Tiles Tracker is just another way to grind. Ramming up again to use the graveyard. Uro, in a way, uses the graveyard, which is nice. And yeah, then you have the Dryads, the Primeval Titans, and then in the sideboard you have a Collector Oof, which is kind of good against some of the Lotus Petal decks, or even things with a Stoneforge Mystic package. It can be pretty good against.
Yep.
Decay is probably one of the best pieces of removal right now. So
it's just a great catch-all. Like, it's the only reason we're playing black in the main deck here, and it's because it just helps you deal with everything. It's especially good when you were dealing with lots of Okos.
Yeah, definitely. Gab's got a good point in comments about Mox Diamond. If you played a Loam version, would you play the full 4 Mox?
I think you would, because you're going to get lots of value off the, you can get back the lands that you discard with Mox Diamond.
Yeah, nice. There's actually, it's pretty interesting because it's pretty much a mono green black with a small black splash for removal and then small blue splash for Uro and some, I guess you can hardcast this, so some counter magic in the sideboard.
Yeah, so the cool thing about this deck is that you can also run like anything you want color-wise because you have Dryad of the Elysian Grove. It makes all of your lands every land type. So if you really wanted to squeeze in like Red Elemental Blast or something like that, you could. Not that you would because you have Chalice, but the fact that you can catch people completely unaware because they just assume you're a mono green deck. And then I've done things like hardcast Mindbreak Trap and Storm players.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Very cool. I guess the one card that I don't want to see, I know that a lot of Maverick players are playing it, is Choke, which can be a little bit brutal if you do have a Dryad out because all your lands are islands. But
I thankfully haven't seen any Chokes played against me.
Yeah.
The worst thing is normally like a Back to Basics or a Blood Moon. So like the Mox Diamond helps you sort of get out of Blood Moon a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and you can abrupt decay, you can float the mana and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's really cool. And speaking of Back to Basics and Blood Moon, those sort of effects are why we're running the Force of Vigors in the board and also the Corrosion Grip. Nick likes the grip because you don't have to fight over something like the Back to Basics. You know the Corrosion Grip's going to resolve, which is nice.
yeah, it sort of just gives you like one piece to like be like, okay, my Force of Vigor didn't work, I'll try for a Corrosion Grip now.
Yep. Yeah, I like that a lot. And even something like a Batterskull, they can't return it, or a Jide, they can't use the counters, which is pretty nice. Or even against a deck like Painter, it's probably really nice to have that effect where, you know, there might be a bit of a stalemate between your opponent activating it and you having removal in hand or something.
Yeah.
So that could be really good.
6 is my theme of also, I just not like things not being countered. So like Split Second, Cavern of Souls.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
just gonna do my thing. Valakut triggers can't be countered.
Nice. And then we have a Deluge and 2 Engineers for some of the fair matchups, which I think like neither Reliquary is pretty tough for this deck to beat outside of Abrupt Decay, so having extra answers to that is pretty nice, especially in a format where Oko and Dreadhorde are no longer around and Maverick's kind of getting a bit more play than it used to. And then Trophy's pretty good for some of the decks where we just want a trophy effect over an Abrupt Decay, maybe a Dark Depths deck, or some players are bringing back Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's kind of just a nice catch-all, and it can be really nice against decks that don't have basics. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Looking pretty good.
I'm pretty excited to play this.
Yeah, let's get straight into a league and see
Curious to see how it plays out in the new Legacy World Order.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting format right now. It's really nice to not have Oko and Urudo to worry about.
It always felt weird not running Oko in this list, but it just really didn't sort of fit in with what I was trying to do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was thinking about Leobold before as a sweet card that you could play in this, but it doesn't really add anything to what the deck wants to do. So it's obviously great value, but it just doesn't fit what you want to be doing. You'd probably rather draw something like a Dryad or a Ramanap instead of
the At one point I was running like Shark Typhoons because that is also uncounterable. And you just
that's cool.
For a big
sick.
Shark token.
Yeah. I'm sure you could even run something like Hull Breacher in this, because you can hold it up as early as turn 2, and you can make use of the removal in things like Tile Striker Clues or Green Suns, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So this deck, it's got a lot of play to it. Unfortunately, Hull Breacher is 100 ticks online.
100 tickets?
Yeah, so...
Whoa!
A little bit expensive. On the play, which is nice for round 1. And this is an interesting hand.
So yeah, I think this hand is like, it's interesting that you've got a piece of removal for like whatever it is they're doing. You can use the Green Suns to get a Dryad, but I probably wouldn't because you don't have any big plays to sort of follow it up with. But you can't really cast the Chalice turn 1 here, so I'm sort of on the fence here. I like Cavern of Souls. It means when we draw our creature, it's likely going to stick.
Yep.
We're going to have a hard time casting Decay. A lot of these lands come into play tapped.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess if we didn't draw a land and we Green Sun first up, we couldn't play Chalice around Days unless we played the Cavern, naming something in the blind.
Yeah.
Which is tough, but I think his deck does have some better starts, especially with Ancient Tomb and Mox Diamond, so...
Yeah, I'd be inclined to Mulligan, because you could also hit like a Once Upon a Time that can help smooth things out, so...
This is a pretty fair hand.
It's very fair.
Yep.
It just depends if you want to go to like a worse 5. The cool thing is that all the lands in our hand currently are different.
Yeah, that's very true. So Field's actually pretty good here if we're up against some sort of control deck.
Yeah, and we'll likely get it like further ahead because we'll get to play a Dryad and we'll get to play a land. If it sticks around, we'll get to play 2 more lands.
Yeah.
I think in like favor of not getting a worse 5, like...
Yeah, I think the only 5 that I would try to get is one with Sylvan Library, because then you can try to recoup your loss. But...
Yeah. Or even with the Chalice, because Chalice normally buys you enough time to...
Yeah. But I think because of the Field and the Dryad, even drawing lands off the top wouldn't be bad, and if we're drawing anything else, we're going to be pretty happy, so I don't mind keeping this.
Yeah.
Probably bottoming the Bayou for the Windswept. Just in case we're up against a Blood Moon deck, we might as well keep the basic.
Yeah, I could see that. Or the Bajuka Bog. It depends on like if you how Because the Bajuga Bog comes into play tap, so you're going to need 3 untapped lands to...
Yep.
So we'll still get that if we ditch the bio. I guess it just depends on how much the graveyard is relevant in this New World Order.
I think it's just Forest Pass.
Yeah, I'd go Forest Pass here. I'd probably be inclined to play like the Windswept to try and play around Opposition Agent.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking of Stifle as well. I'd hate for my opponent to go like something pass.
Oh look, I think we're playing against one of your favourite decks, Dougal.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I kind of want to play one of the tap lands so that we can start getting this Dryad going, but I kind of want to play around probably Wasteland and Richmond Port here a little bit.
So I think if I play around Wasteland and Richmond Port, we just play the Windswept Teeth. That means they can't really get any value out of either of those cards. We can follow up with the Cavern of Souls here, play the Dryad, and then play one of the tap lands.
Yeah.
Cavern of Souls probably not hugely relevant if this is Death and Taxes, because they're not going to counter.
Yeah, exactly.
Things.
Unfortunately, they do have a number of ways to get around the Field of the Dead, and the Bajuga Bog isn't going to be great this game, but yeah, D&T should be pretty interesting. Mum's going to be pretty tough if we don't find something straight away.
Cool thing about Mum, though, is it can't protect itself from Valakut.
Yeah, very true, and pretty nice for us here. My opponent's actually, or our opponent has played a second Vial instead of holding up the Port, which is pretty good for us.
So I think you probably, like, if you want to, like, avoid getting wastelanded out here, you'd use the Windswept Teeth to go get your regular forest, and then you can play the Cavern of Souls, or you can play the Wood Foothills.
Yeah.
I'd be inclined to sort of hold on to the Foothills. It gets better when you have Valakut, because it'll get you more triggers.
Yeah, so you can play the Cavern named Dryad.
And I would name Giant here, because it's going to help you smooth out your mana for
Uro.
Uro.
Yeah, nice. And then probably just put in the Bog.
I think so.
Are we just getting a basic here?
Yeah, I would just get the basic here. Because now we have every colour, as long as this hangs around.
Yeah. Hey Panda, a huge thank you for the 8-month sub. It is Death and Taxes, so I think my opponent does need something like a Mum here first. No Mum would be pretty great for us. A Sword's pretty annoying, but
It happens.
not the worst.
The cool thing is we're 2 turns off a Titan here, so we just have to draw it.
Yeah, that's very true. Thalia would impede us a little bit with Green Suns. I think a library off the top would be really nice. A lot of D&T decks have moved away from Spirited Labyrinth in the main deck, so that would be something that they can't tax too much, thankfully. Hey Tyrone, hopefully not getting boiled today. Boil would be pretty strong.
Yeah.
Have you been boiled before with Dryad in play?
I haven't. I haven't. I have been Carpeted Flowers though.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, which is really cool. They
Yep.
get a bunch of mana and you're like, I'm supposed to be the ramp deck here.
Alright. Well, there's Green Suns, which is interesting. Our opponent searched for a Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, so like, what are the things we can target with Green Suns? We can get either another Dryad, we can get an Uro.
Yeah. Tracker's also pretty interesting because we could play off Wooded Foothills and get 2 draws off it.
Yeah, I like Tracker a lot here. Yeah, either Tracker or Uro. I don't think we're any close to like flashing back Uro, so it'd just be drawing us 1 card, whereas I think Tracker, as you pointed out, is going to draw us a lot more cards in the long term. The Stoneforge in response?
Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if they're thinking of like Collector Oof perhaps? So they wanted to put this in before we actually resolve the Green Suns.
I think it's the one just above Uro there, yeah.
And I'm just going to fetch now to play around like Source to Plowshares in response. But I'm going to assume my opponent is going to spend most of their mana on equipping Jide and attacking.
And I think you probably just get a Bayou here.
Yeah.
That way, if you like lose your Bajuka Bog or your Bayou, you still have Abrupt Decay mana.
Exactly.
And like we already have non-basics in play, so Wasteland is going to affect us no matter what we do here.
Yeah, that's very true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's getting closer to the field. These vials are pretty strong as well, because they can use their mana a lot easier.
Yeah, because they're going to get things like 3. They've got, like, Flicker Wisp.
Yeah, Skyclave Apparition, maybe another Recruiter of the Guard.
Oh, Skyclave.
Yeah, Skyclave's pretty strong. A pretty great answer to Uro as well.
Yeah, I think it was you that first Flicker Wisp Skyclaves against me and showed me how I just don't get my permanent stack. I get a bunch of pointless tokens that you can block for days.
Try to.
Well, there's the swords you predicted.
Which is nice, because it means the Stoneforge isn't getting in now. It looks like they don't have another land drop here. Which is a little bit scary, because then it means they just have creatures for the vials.
Yeah.
Decay is pretty nice, because if they're holding up Flicker Wisp, it means we can decay what they try to hit.
Do you want to decay what they hit, or would you get more value out of, like, if they tap Vial in for Flicker Wisping a Vial, maybe?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because that, like, takes them back on their mana.
I think we can definitely draw a card here first. Chalice, okay. Not the greatest.
Now, is Chalice generally pretty bad in this match if you don't get it out early?
Turn 1 it can be okay, but otherwise, you know, they can just flicker it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is pretty tough, or Skyclave it, which is pretty tough because you don't get any token out of it being a 0 mana creature. I think it's just Dryad Pass.
I think so. I think you probably like do that, then you have Abrupt Decay open. If nothing interesting happens, you can draw another card.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like, I guess our opponent, the deck runs, what, 12 one-drop spells? Is it like 4 mums, 4?
Yeah.
We've already seen 4 of them.
Exactly. So they didn't put in a 3-drop, which is interesting. I could go after the vials, but I kind of want to keep the decay for...
They didn't put anything in.
Yeah, either a heavy hitter or... I feel like they have a reactive hand of maybe like Skyclaves, which just don't really have great targets right now.
Yeah.
But I think with this field in hand, the long game's going to be pretty good for us.
Do you think there's value in like blowing up their 3-cost vial?
It's tough. I think I would try to do it before they... if they put vial on 2 first and don't do anything, then doing it in response to the other one would be interesting. But this Green Suns is pretty interesting. We currently have 2, 4, 5 creatures in lands in play, so we could get a Dryad.
So we can get a Dryad here. The thing is, it depends if you think they're going to port us again or not. Because like you could also just go and get a Titan or build towards a Titan. Because a Titan with Field of the Dead in play and getting another Field of the Dead, we're going to make 4.
Yeah, okay.
Tokens. It's going to be a pretty formidable board. Your other option is like you can get Ramanap here and play lands from your graveyard.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dryad would allow us to also get Field online and hold up Bayou.
Oh, okay, yep.
Because we can go 1...
You'll need to play the Bayou still.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Dryad, Titan, Field, sorry. Which is pretty good. I think here just holding up the Abrupt Decay is better than playing the Chalice for 1.
Yep.
Just in case my opponent does have some sort of shenanigans with Aether Vial here.
Batterskull here? Do we know what they got? Yeah.
We actually didn't know what they had, but pretty happy to see if they have anything else here.
Oh, did they not search for anything?
I think they searched for Jide.
Oh, okay.
They do have Spirit. Interesting, yeah. There's actually some thought to putting in Abrupt Decay there on like the Batterskull, because if they put in Thalia, we can't cast the Abrupt Decay. But it looks like they're just going to go for Flicker Wisp on Recruiter. And I think here is a pretty good target, because I don't want them getting any extra value off this Recruiter of the Guard.
Yep. Oh yeah, you can tap Dryad for any colour.
I can tap for any colour. I think Green Suns would be the best draw, because then it turns on Titan, and it also just turns on Ramanap if we wanted that.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Titan here, you're just going to get two Valakits and...
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Valakit's a really nice draw.
Get super ahead.
So our opponent has 3 cards. We know one of them is a Jide. And they've already used 1 Wasteland, so the field's looking pretty good now. Skyclave on Dryad is pretty good.
Ooh, our game plan.
I'm pretty happy to trade the zombie here for the spirit. In case we draw like an Uro.
Yep. Gives us more chances to draw outs. They might just be willing to offer that trade by having another one.
A land isn't the worst because it does trigger the field.
Yep.
And now we can just chalice for 1.
Yeah.
They've already put the vials up to 3 and 2 as well, which is nice. So they can't just get a mum in play or cast a Sword of Plowshares. But they do have a clock, so we do have to consider...
We have to draw something, otherwise, we're going to be dead in about 2 turns.
Exactly. Especially with the Jide now.
Oh no.
They have a sword, okay.
Nice.
Well,
Wow.
sword will be 7 in the air with the Flick Wisp, so it's pretty much a 2-turn clock if we don't find an answer to the Wisp.
Plague Engineer in the sideboard's looking pretty.
Yeah, and the Deluge as well, just to make sure we can clean up, because the deck does have a bunch of X1s that are different types. Hey Chris, welcome.
Hi Chris, thanks for the compliment.
Should definitely block there, but I don't think it matters because of the Wisp in the air.
Yeah.
We can still block the bottom, so we kind of just want a Green Suns here.
Oh!
Which...
I don't think helps us though, unfortunately, because we don't have the Dryad anymore.
No, but is there a way we can tap to get an Uro into play? I guess an Uro only gains 3.
Problem is that this shuffles in and you need 5 cards to exile. Uro. So you could tap for 3. I guess you don't have the blue either because we don't have the Dryad anymore. You get the 2 blue from your Tropical Island and your Cavern of Souls.
Yeah. Okay. I guess if we draw into like a fetch land, but then we're just going down to 2 and gaining and going up to 8. But then we're getting more zombies.
Yeah, I think Ur is probably like...
Prime Time is in the list. I'm not too sure what Prime Time does here, because Valakut won't trigger. There's no way to kill creatures in the air. Scooz is only going to gain us 2 life, so I think it is just Uro and see what we draw into.
Yeah.
So tapping like this. I guess there's some consensus to holding up Abrupt Decay if we draw into that, so we could tap like this. Sorry, so we want to keep up Cavern and these. So like this.
Yeah.
No Glacial Chasm. That'd be cool.
Alright, one time, get lucky.
Caracas would also be interesting so we could return it and then replay it. They're going to put in a vial on 2.
And probably the Spirit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Unlucky.
Boarding's going to be interesting, so...
We've got lots of cool things to add in.
Yeah, I think it's a thought of these.
Yeah, so I think you definitely want, like... I think the Force of Vigor is great. I think the Collector is great. I'm not so sure on the Crows and Grip.
Yeah.
Just because, like... It does the same thing as Force of Vigor, but we can at least cast Force of Vigor for free.
Yeah.
Are there any big permanents you think we need to destroy with Assassin's Trophy, or do you just want another piece of removal in there?
I think just another piece of removal is really nice. Yeah, just to make sure we have something on top of Abrupt Decay.
Is, like, Sylvan Library just worse in this matchup because of the existence of Spirit of the Labyrinth, or is it something you think you would... Like, as a Death and Taxes player, would you still want to not play against it?
It's interesting because it's still also a nice clock as well as a 3-powered creature.
Yeah.
I would probably expect it to still be in there somewhere. I think the chalices we can probably take out.
Yep.
Chalices aren't that great. And then probably the Graveyard Hate. Especially if my opponent's bringing in Rest in Peace. If for some reason they think we use the Graveyard enough with Uro and Ramanap, they might consider it.
Yep.
So I think those 2 are pretty easy cuts. I could see like 1 library going down if we are thinking about Spirit of the Labyrinth.
It just depends on, like, how do you evaluate it as a Death and Taxes player?
The nice thing as well is that Spirit's an enchantment, so we can kill it with Force.
Yeah. So like one of the cards I normally cut out is Once Upon a Time.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because it is like a nice to have kind of thing, but you don't always necessarily want to have it.
Yeah, definitely. Rashad got me there with the. I thought that a lot of players were moving towards even just old school cards like Sarah Avenger, with attacking in the air to get around things like Young Pyromancer. But yeah, Spirit got us pretty good there. This is 61, and I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think these cards are just collectively better than the cards we took out. So.
Yep, I'd agree.
This is an interesting hand. It's got Acceleration turn 1 into either Plague Engineer or Abrupt Decay. So we have an answer to both plays turn 1, which is Mother of Runes or Aether Vial, which is pretty nice.
Yep. Yeah, I like this hand a lot. I think like playing the Green Sun Zenith early on, and even if they do like spend their turn swords to Plowsharing sharing it, we still have enough land drops to get to our 3 drops.
Yeah. I think it's just Windswept for Bayou, Green Suns for Dryad Arbor?
Yeah.
I had my opponent bring in Grafdigger's Cage against me, and I kind of laughed it off, and then we drew 3 Green Suns, and I didn't find an answer to it, and I lost, and it was pretty bad. So I'm not sure if our opponent would bring in
Grafdiggers?
Yeah, Grafdiggers against this.
Now, is Mumsy something you want to get rid of here, or would you just like Plague Engineer it away?
This is interesting. I don't mind just going for Uro. To get some board going. Yeah. It also means we can play around a Wasteland or a Rishton Port, and it also means that if they want to play a Thalia, then we can get a 2-for-1 with the Plague.
Yep. You don't have to use the Misty Rainforest here. If you want to hold it back to get a basic, you can just use the Cavern of Souls.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I always find like naming it for Giant is the best way to sort of smooth out your mana, because Uro has that blue casting cost.
This also plays around Spirit Labyrinth, which is nice. Probably just put in a fetch. I don't want to show the Wasteland yet.
Yep. See if they lean hard into like a Rishton Pool or something.
Yeah. And then just 6.
Not playing around Mana Tithe, apparently.
No, and there's Spirit, so that's pretty good for us. It also means we have next turn up Plague Engineer and Abrupt Decay.
Now, what creature type is Spirit of Labyrinth? Is it actually a spirit?
It is a spirit. It is just a spirit.
Oh, no. Couldn't it be a Spirit Cleric, get some extra variant? This is cool. Tireless Tracker, going to get us a lot of tokens.
Yeah, I don't mind just Tracker into Wasteland.
Yeah, yeah. And to like lock off their port. Because what's cool is we can build up the tokens and then play Plague Engineer, get rid of that spirit, and then draw those cards, or even just Abrupt Decay it.
There we go. Yeah, I think Plague Engineer has been really nice for the decks that do have an issue with answering Mum on turn 1, because you have so much patience now that you can just hold back until you really need to use it. And our opponent's not in a situation where they can really hit us hard by...
Oh, offering the trade.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Pretty good attack, though.
I guess they can Mum.
Shit, okay. That's going to be fine. No reason to fetch here.
I don't think so.
Valakut. Interesting.
So I assume here you probably want to like save the Abrupt Decay for when they attach the Jitte, so they have to sink their turn into it.
Yep.
I think maybe just playing the Misty Rainforest. The only reason to maybe not play the Misty Rainforest is if you draw a Titan next turn, you won't be able to play it off the Valakut.
Yeah.
Whereas if you play the Valakut this turn, next turn you can...
I like that a lot. And then we have 2 mana up for the Clue and 2 mana up for Decay. So.
Yeah. We're attacking back here?
I do like just attacking here.
Thing is, will they just block with Mum?
If they do, it does open it up to Abrupt Decay.
Do you not want to save the Abrupt Decay for the Jit, though?
Could definitely, yeah. I was thinking that then Plague, if we had the extra mana, like if we didn't play a land there, we could play the Decay on the Mum and then Plague Engineer on Spirit.
Oh, okay.
But I should have actually just cast the Clue there because you can get an extra damage in, but I think this is fine. Tracker really nice. I've been a big fan of it against some of the control decks where something like Neither Reliquary isn't as impactful. And it just gives a lot of decks that don't have draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I find Tracker's one of those cards that I guess I haven't played enough with. It has like some really powerful matchups, and then sometimes it always just feels a little bit dead in my hand. But
is there any reason to block here before we actually decay? It does mean we probably lose the Dryad Arbor if they do get protection.
So losing the Dryad Arbor means we can't play a Titan next turn.
I think here we're just decaying the Jide, allowing the 3 to come through.
Yeah.
Cracking a clue and then...
Because they would just protect it with Mum anyway.
Yep, exactly.
No point giving up our land source if we don't have to. No, I think we want to crack our clue in a turn here.
Yeah, because this is 1 each turn, which is nice, so we can at least use the clue here. Just going to get a Trop.
Yeah, Trop's good. Trop means that if we get Error, we can start recasting.
Deluge.
Ooh.
That's pretty nice, actually. And Sylvan Library. So we can go, like, Sylvan Library, Land, and Toxic Deluge.
For 1, yeah.
So, like, Library, Land. I like Deluge and then follow up with Plague Engineer.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I definitely like getting rid of their 2 creatures here. Like, they haven't got a Vial.
Yeah.
You know, they might just follow up with a Thalia here. Any of the 3 drops don't seem too scary. Yeah,
exactly. The Deluge can be a nice answer to something else. Like if they do have like a Stoneforge Mystic or a Sarah Avenger or a Prelate or something, but I do like that it just clears the board. It takes the Spirit off the table, which is nice. It turns on the Library.
I mean, even if they spend their turn playing a Spirit here, we can just play the Plague Engineer and then draw a bunch of tokens. A bunch of cards off our clue tokens.
Yeah. We also have Ur on the bin.
Oh.
This is interesting. They're going to go for the Sylvan Library. That makes me think they have more outs to the tracker in things like Swords to Plowshares, so... That's interesting. Is there any reason to draw first, or... I guess we could also just go for Uro here.
I think we should probably just want to go for Uro here.
Yeah.
Like, Uro is such a formidable threat. It gets us, puts us further closer towards, like, Dryad being awesome.
Yeah. I'll go for a second value so we can't be wastelanded off the 1 black source we have.
Yep.
And then we can go blue, blue, green, green, Uro. Probably just take out the non-lands first, and then just leave like 1 wasteland, 1 fetch.
Yep, seems good.
Which is pretty nice. They do have Caracas, but I'm happy just to keep drawing cards here. It also means if they want to Caracas it, it's putting them off the land for the turn.
Well, that answers that.
Yeah.
I feel getting to Recaster is pretty good for us though, because like,
yeah,
it buys us more time with our life and gets us more lands which we want to do, so the Dryad's just online, we can just kill them with Valakatreas.
Yeah, Brendan's got a good point. So with our tracker being a pretty big creature, we also have a... We have a lot of time to make it bigger than most of their creatures and then just try to take over the game with the tracker. So we currently have 6 mana, which means we can cast 2 creatures, which is nice.
Yeah, so you could just cast both Dryads here, or you could cast a Dryad and an Uro.
Does this trigger the Valakut if we play the Dryad first?
Correct.
Nice. Oh, I should have tapped it differently so I could nearly attack for lethal if I engineer on this, but I think this will work out fine anyway.
I mean, you could just play an Uro here. Means that they have to choose whether or not they're going to use the Skyclave on the tracker or the Dryad.
Exactly, and if we draw a land here, then we get to cast. I mean, it's pretty much lethal if we draw a fetch land, because then it's 2 triggers, which is really nice.
Yep.
I think sending this back is is fine.
Yeah, I think it was fine. Worked out well.
I think the only issue with this deck is having 2 people for a grindy deck can definitely hit your time. Because seeing like they have 16 minutes, we have 9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty big.
Oh, because we've been talking about it for so much.
Yeah. What do you think?
This seems like a cool hand. Like you've got a Sylvan Library early on. You've got a Wasteland to hit their Wastelands. You know, you do run yourself a little bit of a risk here if they have a Wasteland for your green source. So I wouldn't lead with the Bayou first. I guess this hand sort of falls down if they like have Wasteland and they have Spirit Labyrinth.
Exactly, yeah. That's very true. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Risk it for the biscuit, because we can lead on Caracas and then hopefully Sylvan Library the next turn.
Yeah. Is there only target in Caracas with Caracas normally Thalia?
Usually, yeah.
Flagstones.
Yeah, Flagstones is interesting. That's a nice draw. I think it's just going to be Caracas pass here.
Does Flagstones mean they're probably playing Cataclysm?
Could definitely be, yeah. There's probably no other reason to play it. That's a late mum, which is nice for us. I'm going to hold this because the black source is better for us, for the Plague.
I agree.
And at least we can 6 a lot of these turns.
And just pray for no spirit.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Well, that's not too bad. We get to Plague it, which is cool.
Yeah.
We could also Plague the mum here. So we do have a few options. I think I'd rather Plague the mum, just to get it out of the way, and then we have the Decay for the spirit.
Okay.
And hold the fetch land.
I assume with like plaguing the mum, you also get more value on other creatures like Thalia as a human.
Hopefully, yeah. Our opponent also missed a land drop, which is pretty great for us. We can also upkeep Abrupt Decay the spirit.
I mean, if they missed a land drop, that must mean their hand is just full of 2-drops because they played a mum on turn 2.
Exactly.
So they drew the mum. They already had the 2 lands and just lots and lots of 2-drops.
So this is pretty nice. Upkeep, we get to do this, and now we get to look at the...
oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Which, to be fair, this would have been better. Because then we could force the Jide and the Spirit.
Yep.
But I think here we want to put the Dryad back. Probably just pay for the Mox, and then get a fetch and shuffle away everything else.
I think the Force of Vigor could be really good.
Yeah.
Against the Jide, so...
So if we go cast the Mox, put the Wasteland in the bin, and then use the...
Yep. I like that. That helps fill out our graveyard for like when we eventually draw Urza.
Which is really nice.
And actually we're just going to slam Dryad here.
Yep.
Get some more creatures on the board. I mean, if they do Cataclysm, we can choose Dryad as our enchantment.
Yeah, very true.
Does it actually let us choose enchantments? Is that how Cataclysm
We do,
works?
yeah,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. The one issue with Wastelanding them is that they do get a basic, which I guess does take a basic out of the deck, but we do have Titan here, so 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6 mana.
Yeah, I think I would just put the Mox back. You can just pay the 4 life if you want to keep the Force of Vigor. Let's just play the Force of Vigor for free.
Yeah, I mean if they have like Containment Priest, but...
What's the Containment Priest for?
Containment Priest ends, that means they can attack with the Jide.
Oh, okay.
But I think
we're just going to cast Titan here and get 2 Valakuts.
Exactly, yeah.
And just hope that they don't have a Swords for the Dryad. Your other option is you can like hedge your bets and get like how many lands do we have that are different here?
1, 2,
we
3,
only have 4,
Yeah.
so you can't get value or Field of the Dead.
Are we just getting double Valakut?
So okay, if you get double Valakut here, you get pushed further behind by like a Swords. If you get like a Valakut and a Field of the Dead,
They did 6, so I believe they don't have a sword.
okay.
I think there's a way to just do same targets.
Ah, nice. Yes, we would like to use Valakut's ability.
Yeah.
Yes.
So opponent just got stuck on 2 lands, which is pretty rough. I wonder what they kept, because they didn't have a turn 1 mum, they had a turn 2 mum. So they actually didn't have a turn 1 play. Turn 2 was the Spirit. But,
maybe they had like a Cataclysm hand or something, or like some 3-drops they thought could get.
yeah. Or like a Skyclave. I think a Skyclave could have changed that pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
Nice to always take down the first one, Nick.
Especially against Death and Taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
I never get to beat Death and Taxes. There's one particular pile that always seems to beat me.
But G&T does seem like it has a lot of the tools to beat Dryad Titan, because you have the Wasteland Port strategy, you have swords and Skyclave for removal.
Yeah, you're both playing like a slow, fair kind of strategy, and I think Death and Taxes just has the mana curve is a lot smoother in it as well, whereas we're trying to do janky things to get Titan.
Yeah, exactly. I think their Vile starts are much better against a deck like Titan, because you do want to use your mana.
Yeah. Is this a redeemable thing?
Thanks, Peter Simon. Yeah, stay hydrated. It's
I have my
nice. Tired hand. Oof. Not gonna ask what that's about. Yeah, the list you can also find on screen. So if you look on... You should be able to see the coupled live functionality on screen, which is... You should be able to see the coupled live functionality on screen. This, and then you'll see this pop up. So you can see the deck list over here, and then you can look at each card, which is pretty cool.
There's so many of us on screen.
Yeah, up against Lamasters, who must be a pretty good player. This is a tough one, because a nice hand, but no turn 1 play.
There's no green either, so like you're kind of like pinched on mana. I think I'd be shipping this back.
Yeah.
This hand is okay as well. Like, it's annoying that you don't get the chalice at turn 1, so you lose a lot of value by not playing it on turn 1. You could also mulligan this. Like, the new mulligan rule makes it a bit better to try and find better hands, but we do not... Like, we do lack a lot of card draw and stuff.
Yeah, okay. This is
This is a pretty cool hand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get like a turn 2, or you can Once Upon a Time into something cool. Like, what 2 cards are we putting back though?
I think it's gonna be probably the Mox. It's probably just...
I think it's the Mox Diamond.
Yeah.
And then I think probably the basic Forest.
Okay.
Maybe. Like, if we can Wasteland them, if they play like a Wasteland or something. And that would still give us 3 mana.
Yeah, okay. I guess the Forest allows us to play around Wasteland a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe the Wasteland then, or the Bay.
Bayou? Yeah, cool. And then we can just go Forest Pass. There's no point in wanting now.
Depends if you want to play around days or something. I guess if you have a Forest, you can pay days. I always just Once Upon a Time in the upkeep.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess we get to dig deeper as we draw. And if we draw into a creature like Dryad, then we know we don't really have to once for a Dryad, which is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this might actually be a chalice for one. It looks definitely like it.
That's great if it is, because we don't care about it at all.
Decent. Oh, okay. This might be the Urza deck.
Okay.
Which it definitely looks like.
The Draw 7 Urza deck?
Yeah. There's Emery.
Oh, there's an Emery.
Yep. They hit lands and another Emery. Pretty happy just to untap and Wasteland here.
Okay.
Decay is pretty interesting.
You probably want to play like the Once Upon a Time first to see if there's any like interesting creatures that you want.
I guess the thing is that we're not casting a 3-drop this turn anyway, and all our good creatures are 3-drops.
Yeah.
So it's going to be either Decay on Emery, which can be pretty rough, or just try to set them back with hitting the tomb.
I think possibly sitting them back on the tomb is probably the right play then. I guess the Emery can do lots of cool things with Lion's Eye Diamond. So maybe like Wasteland them wasn't.
It does keep them off Karn next turn, and then stopping them from Emery into Mycosyn's Lattice.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Emery's pretty good. It's probably one of the better Abrupt Decay targets, is you can't Abrupt Decay Karn or Urza.
Yeah.
And the Chalice we don't thankfully care about, so...
Like, we've got those Force of Figures to play around Mycosyn's Lattice lock.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, pretty happy there. So now they have 3 mana and LED.
They have 4 mana if they recast the Lotus Petal too. They have to give up their hand, so they could just play an Urza here. Yeah.
It looks like they're going to try to get 4 mana here through the petal.
Yep.
Khan's pretty good.
There's Khan.
Khan's going to be tough because Khan going after our mana with like liquid metal coating is going to be pretty tough.
Let's see what they tick down for. I would assume it wouldn't be Marcus's Lattice here. So there, you are right, the liquid metal coating. I think we're just in a really tough spot here because we're either going to lose all our lands in liquid metal coating, or we're going to lose all our lands to...
Yeah. So I think we have
lands.
to go after Emery here, or else they can just micro next turn with LED.
Yeah.
But then we were open to Khan. I don't mind just conceding here and not showing that we're on Titan deck. They could just think we're on Maverick.
Yeah, I think that's probably the play, because I just don't see a line where we win here. Because they have the 6 mana off Emery.
Yeah, but luckily we have some pretty awesome stuff. I mean, the ley lines are also a maybe. I think Chalice on 0 is a fine play.
Yep.
This probably isn't a matchup for... Yeah, I think the Lattice Lock next turn was just too good. The trophy is nice because it can also hit Khan and Urza, which Abrupt Decay can't.
Yeah. Is Abrupt Decay just worse off for us here? Like, what are our targets for Abrupt Decay? You can hit, like, Urza tokens, you can hit Chalice, which I think is mostly irrelevant.
Yeah, thankfully Chalice is pretty relevant. There's... If they're playing Hull Breacher or Narset, I'm not sure if they're playing that in the Echo kind of version.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which could be pretty tough. Psy is also a card that sometimes he play in the grindy versions.
To make lots of tokens.
Diamonds are bad with Khan. Yeah, I guess because we're also not wanting to Chalice for 1 on turn 1, there's, you know, not as much need for Mox. And also if we're bringing in the Collector Oof, it just takes out a little bit of the dyssynergy. Ramanap is okay as a way to get back Wasteland, but otherwise it's not a big deal. I think we can trim on a Decay if we have the trophy. Yeah, Track is pretty interesting as well, especially if they are running some of the draw hate cards, then it's not really going to be doing what we want.
How good is Leyline here? Like...
Leyline stops the Echo lines and it stops Emery. That's about it. So I think if we have Chalice...
Like most of their lines though.
It doesn't stop Urza into big creatures.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where Chalice comes in pretty good, because Chalice turns off any sort of LED lines.
Yep.
And also stops their fast mana from really occurring. I believe Emery though is just switch artifacts, so it's not cast. So once you have an Emery down, you can get Lotus Petals into play through a Chalice, because it's not casting them, it's just putting them into play.
No, you can't. I believe you cast them.
Oh, you cast it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's cool. It's just one more card. It might just be a library. We do have Ooze for Graveyard Hate as well.
Yep.
Or it could be a Titan.
It could even just be a Once Upon a Time. You know my thoughts on trimming Titans.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. There we go.
Do you want Toxic Deluge at all?
That's actually pretty interesting. I never thought of it. I wouldn't even mind it as just a one-off way to deal with Urza. And also if they try to go wide with some sort of creature. So what if we go one Primetime, one once?
Alright.
Okay.
I think that's wrong, but...
Okay.
Titan's the best card in Magic.
What are your thoughts?
So, it's an awkward hand because, like, again, we have no colored sources. We have a Wasteland to, like, Wasteland them. But, like, Ancient Tomb we're not going to get a lot of payoff on with this hand. Same with Valakut.
Yeah.
I think we just mulligan here. I don't like chancing things on Once Upon a Time hitting the right card.
Yeah.
This hand I like a lot better. You've got Once Upon a Time to do something early to find something to play, which means you could play one of your 3-drops on turn 2 with Ancient Tomb and Tropical Island. If we don't hit anything relevant, we can play Sylvan Library and draw more interesting cards.
Yeah.
And then we have a Titan to follow it up. We will lose to sort of just the explosive turns they have, but Depends if you want to mulligan for
A
a
chalice.
chalice here.
I do like this hand in the blind, but against this deck, I think we do have to be a little bit more hateful and try to get that chalice going.
Yep.
Because that's the starts that are gonna.
Yep. All right.
Really kill us. Okay, this is actually a turn 2 collector oof, which is pretty strong.
Okay. Yep.
So I think we could keep this and bottom maybe the bog and the abrupt decay.
The bog's going to allow us to play the abrupt decays.
Ah, yes, that's very true.
So I think maybe the Ramen up here and an abrupt decay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Just because we don't have any value, any lands to get value off the Ramen up straight away anyway.
Yeah. So does Bayou pass?
Yeah.
I'd love to see a seat as their land drop, because it would be an artifact land.
Cool.
It's not, but close. There's LED. Okay. Okay. Snow. So some decks play Echoing Truth. I'm not sure if they play Counter Magic, but thankfully Oof here is going to be pretty nice. It's going to buy us a lot of time, which is great. And also the Snow-Covered Forest means we can hold the bog for when we might need it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. Foretold card. Interesting. Would anyone in chat know what this is?
We could try and figure it out on Scryfall if we have time.
Yeah. Behold the multiverse.
I feel like Scoop and Response is going to be trolling. Oh, okay. That's cool.
I think he would just play the Snow-Covered Forest and hold up Abrupt Decay.
I think I would just play the Field of the Dead.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, I guess no, you want to have the Abrupt Decay online. No, you were correct there. I'm just always looking out for making sure that I have like an untapped land when it's my 6th land so that I can cast Titan.
Okay, yeah. Urza's pretty good here. Could be the exile thingy too.
What's the exile thing you do? Oh,
Interesting.
I guess that's what it does.
It's pretty good.
Very good.
Is there any consideration to take out the construct here? Or do you just not care about it right now?
I think I'm probably more worried about like a Narset or a Hull Breacher.
Yeah, okay. That's more than fine. Cavern. Probably just field here.
I'd just play Field here, yeah. Get those tap lands into play.
Decay on LED is very interesting as well, but I think because if they're turning on any sort of echo lines, we kind of want to rebuild our hand. So I wouldn't mind keeping the LED around, but I'm sure there's some busted things they can do with LED that we wouldn't be able to answer otherwise.
When I was reading the Foretold mechanic, originally I didn't realize you exile them face down.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so I thought you just exiled them face up and your opponent kind of knew what was coming.
Ah, okay. That's cool.
And then when someone said, oh, you exile the cards face down, I'm like, oh, these abilities are way more better than I was expecting.
That's really strong, especially in blue.
Like, there's a counter spell, there's the one that copies the creatures, there's the black one where if you, like, for every creature that died this turn, you get to make a 2/2.
That's cool. That's cool. Dryad, please? Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I think we use the tomb. Oh, we don't really have to use the tomb.
No, not at all. You can just use like the Cavern of Souls here if you want to make sure it sticks. They normally have like in these decks I thought they had the Force of Wills on the sideboard.
Yeah. My only thought here is not playing the Bog and holding up Valakut. If we draw it, we can then kill the Urza.
Yeah.
So I think we have to use the 2 if we want to hold up Abrupt Decay here as well.
No, well, Dryad gives you every colour.
Oh, of course, that's very true. So the tomb can tap for any color. Which is
Yeah,
cool.
you can just tap it for green.
Okay. Just Dryad things.
Yeah. Takes a little to get used to.
Probably pretty happy just to block the 3/3 with the bird here.
I do like how Magic Online depends on the creature land types. You have a land, swamp, forest, plains, mountain.
Yeah,
Dot.
nice. Yeah, this is a really strong card. And it's tough because Collector Oof is usually lights out, especially in game 1 against this deck. Unless they have some sort of really strong Urza plan.
Yeah.
But I think here just blocking with the bird is fine, just to buy some time.
Yep.
And then, yeah, giving us the out of Valakut's pretty nice. Chalice. Probably just Chalice for 0 here.
Yeah, I think Chalice for 0 is the best you can hope for. Don't think we've got enough mana to Chalice for 6.
Yeah.
Stop their echoes.
And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we need another land to actually start getting this field going.
I have actually cast a Chalice for 6 once.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was playing a Cloud Push Mirror.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's very cool. It stops prime time.
Yep.
Yep. Nice.
And I only had that much mana that early on because we both had Locust in play.
Of course, because Cloud Post copies all. It taps for all Lotus on the field.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. It's a little bit like the old Lords of like Merfolk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Happened in last week in Legacy. I played against Matt's colorless Storm deck. And we were both playing Cloud Post, and he had much better ways to use the mana.
That's cool. I think I'm happy just to hit this, just to take it off the field.
Yep, to buy us some more time.
Yep.
I mean, if we get echoed here...
We get echoed, but... Wasteland's pretty strong, because now we can start getting these fields going, which is nice. I don't mind just going after the Ancient Tomb here.
Ravenform entered the Exile Zone.
Because I exile with Bujukapog.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some Foretold thing again.
Can the Urza be used here? Yeah, they're not using the Urza, which is interesting. Shuffle your library, then exile top card.
Might just forget that it has a second ability.
Maybe, yeah. Like, next time we get to start attacking with both creatures, because, you know, the Urza is a 1/4, isn't killing either, which is nice.
Yep.
Might as well play this now just to get the trigger off the... we don't get the trigger. Because it's a second land. That's something to always think about.
No, so we don't get the trigger because you use your Wasteland.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah. So even if it's the same name, as long as you have 7 different ones, but because you used the Wasteland, you took us back to 6.
There we go. Hopefully that doesn't come up. Because, to be fair, the Wasteland didn't do too much. My opponent's also at a pretty high amount of...
This was like an echo.
Yeah, speaking...
Wow.
Which is interesting, especially...
Wait, we're going to get 7 though.
They might just not cast it. Yeah.
Oh. This will trigger.
Nice, okay.
This is cool that field tells you on the card.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it looks like Abrupt Decaying that token there was like a good play because it's getting us like the ability to push damage through. It's bought us some time.
Yeah, but I think holding the Wasteland was...
What's interesting though is our opponent doesn't know that... I don't know, but it seems like they don't know that they can tap their LED and their Lotus Petal to make mana.
Yeah.
Because they had the ability to activate Urza there again.
Yeah. It's good to see 2 Hull Breaches in the bin. This looks like a flashback Echo, perhaps. Oh, it's going to be a Hull Breacher first. Oh, now they can Echo. That's pretty strong.
It's pretty bad for us.
Yeah.
And all those treasure tokens you can just tap to.
Yeah, exactly.
What's cool about Lion's Eye Diamond is you can make 4 mana off it with Urza because it doesn't require you to tap it to sacrifice it.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is functionally different to like Black Lotus. Black Lotus, you actually have to tap Black Lotus to sacrifice it.
Yeah, okay.
Because of mono artifact.
Interesting. I guess there's some thought to taking the hit from the big dude, so we had the Abrupt Decay for the Hull Breacher in response to the Echo.
Yeah.
Because then they'd have no cards in hand and couldn't counter the... I guess Abrupt Decay is uncounterable, but... yeah, it is looking tough.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's going to be game, because that's just... Oh, they're going to kill the Chalice, okay.
I mean, don't forget we have Force Vigor. We can get out of Lattice Lock.
Yeah, okay, that's very true.
Also lands.
Yep.
Our lands trigger under Lattice Lock as well,
Yep.
so...
That's cool.
I think they're probably actually taking up Khan here to protect it so they don't lose it to like a Valakut or something.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So they can create that Lattice Lock. This is game 3 anyway, right?
I believe this is game 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess with Force of Vigor you can float the mana, and then you can cast the Force of Vigor because it allows you to cast any sort of color for a card.
Oh.
Decay. Interesting.
No, that's a good point. Your cards become colorless, so you can't pitch them to Force of
Correct.
Vigor.
Yeah, but you can float mana.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
No, I thought you could just play it and like...
That'd be cool. But yeah, unfortunately this looks like it's going to be tough. I think the only way we get out of this is our opponent making a mistake where they try to echo again and we have the decay for the Hull Breacher. And then we could draw into something like Lattice Lock. Into a way out of the Lattice Lock before they actually cast it. They have 6 mana. They're good. Yeah, so okay, so here we get to go for Decay on Hull Breacher. And hope they don't have another one to flash in.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think that's the writing on the wall, unfortunately. But that was an out that we did have, which is kind of nice.
100 tickets a Hull Breacher.
Yeah, 100 tickets, pretty crazy.
Does that make that deck one of the more expensive decks on Magic Online?
Yeah, I think Ancient Tomb is also a little bit costly.
Yep.
At around like 15, 20 ticks.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much Khans are. Let's actually look. Legacy. And then Ninjas, Omnitel, Prison. It's not looking to be on here. Huh. That's not it. Doesn't play days. That's. I think we can go like.
You can expand it from last 30 days.
Khan Echoes. There we go. Not too bad. So if we're looking at MTGO,
This list doesn't have.
okay. There we go. I think you can look here and then look at
Like
decks that play it. Yeah.
Check. There you go. Decks here. Filter formats.
Can you unselect all?
Yeah.
Nice. And then Legacy. We're also. Oh.
It's the same list. It must be an old
Yeah.
one or something.
Interesting. Alright, up against Koi. Up against the Yorion deck. Interesting. So I'm going to assume this is either Esper Hate Bears, or Esper Vile, or DNT.
Our last opponent was seen playing Snoko.
Okay. I like Silver Library in this hand.
Yep.
And we also have some acceleration, which is nice.
Yep.
So,
And we've got a Once Upon a Time to get us something.
yeah, which is pretty cool. Windswept. That makes me think this could even be, I know Achilles was playing a Maverick deck. That was playing Yorion, but this looks like just Green Suns. Which, what do you think about Wasteland on Trop here? Is that too greedy? Oh, Chalice is pretty good.
I guess like it's a Yorion deck, right? So it might be harder for them to draw into lands. Like, they are trying to accelerate here with the Green Suns rather than hold on to it. So I think Wasteland could be a good play.
Yeah, and then even if we find a Mox at the top, next turn we could cast something off the Ancient Tomb.
Yep.
I should have actually cast the once first because it's free.
Oops.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I thought you were Wastelanding this turn.
Yeah, my bad. I actually
You just autopilot the chalice
I did.
play? Yeah. I was like, we just talked about Wasteland, and I was like, oh, I don't know, there's a chalice here.
Yeah. If they are on like a Maverick deck as well, this means we're far behind answering a Knight, which could be pretty good. They just put Yorion into hand, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. That tells me that they don't have a play. So, I kind of like getting the library online, but the Wasteland off blue is also interesting.
I like the Wasteland off blue here. Like, I think we have all the pieces to play a longer game in our hand, and you know, getting them off their game plan lets us like play the long game much more effectively.
Yeah. We also have the double green sun, so like Dryad and Ramanap perhaps, to try to start getting some real value going.
Of course, our opponent just has all the lands in their hand.
But it looks like just a pass perhaps here. Yeah, that's pretty big for us. Unless they have some sort of flash creature.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? If they spent the mana already getting Yorion back to their hand.
Do you like library here?
Yeah, I like library here.
Playing around days as well, which is nice. Feels like a Hull Breacher. Ice Fang. Okay. That's not too bad. I wonder actually how much this Chalice is doing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they haven't really cast anything.
Yep.
I could see like a Green Suns for 3 here for like Leovold if they're playing that. Or just Questing Beast. Questing Beast is pretty sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to put some real pressure on us. Unless we find like Caracas. Probably what we want to be drawing into.
Yeah, Caracas. Or like a Titan to get Caracas out.
2-3. Can probably put back the other Abrupt Decay. It's not doing much here.
How quickly can we get to Titan though?
I guess we could Green Suns for Uro. 2, 3, which means we have to keep the Cavern. Or we can shuffle off the once, which is interesting as well.
I like Cavern because it means whatever creature plan we stick to, like, we're going to get it. Maybe just putting the Titan back, and then if there's nothing better... Because we're probably just going to cast the Once Upon a Time here.
Yep. Oh, really? Not the Green Suns for, like, Uro? To gain some life and get some card draw?
You're going to lose life, but you're only going to gain 1 life point.
Yeah, which was just 12. Just still a turn 2 clock. Scoos does nothing here. Tireless Tracker is interesting, but...
Once Upon a Time helps us dig for Caracas.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay.
If you play the Cavern now, you also don't have to use the Ancient Tomb.
Yes. Yeah. Probably just naming Giant. I guess the issue was that if we find Caracas, we can't cast it this turn.
Oh, okay, yep.
So maybe just because of that, Uro allows us to dig 1 card, and then we can library and then also once to try to find Caracas.
Yeah, okay.
And we do have a land to put in already, which is nice.
Forget about that.
It would have been nice to have a second white, second green, so we could actually double up. Titania.
Oh.
Okay, that's pretty good.
This is just a 7-point Highlander deck.
This is tough.
Next turn they get to flick Titania.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think we actually have an out to this. Even if we drew Caracas here naturally, we're just too slow. Hey Jerry, a huge thank you for the sub. I hope you're well and enjoying your morning coffee. We're in a tight spot. I think we just have to concede here.
Yeah, I just don't see how we get out of this. We don't have any mass removal in the main deck, so...
That was a beating. That's a cool deck, though.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this deck.
Yeah.
Engineers seem fine. And the Deluge.
Yep.
The Trophy. That's probably it. I'm not too sure how good the Chalices are.
Yeah, I haven't played against too many Yorion decks, so you might have a little more knowledge here, because no one, I think, in real life wants to put 80 cards together.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this deck would play like Ponder or Brainstorm because it's playing blue, or if it would be more creature based, kind of like Maverick, not playing those sort of cards. It does stop like they're probably playing Hierarch.
Hey, we could click on their list and see if it's just a Snowco list with Orion, with Oko and Yorion. Oop.
But no Titania.
Maybe Titania's the new ad now that Oko's gone.
Titania would be pretty good. Hey Arkin, hope you're well. 5-color Underworld Breach, Snowco. It's pretty close to this, just with no Okos.
So
Which is still playing Brainstorm and Ponder, Swords. Yeah, I think the Chalices are fine. This is an interesting one. I think all the lands are still relevant as well. I think they're playing Uro, so Bojuka still seems relevant.
Yep. You could just cut Once Upon a Time.
I don't mind that. Just to make sure we have more...
Yep.
Not so much fluff in the deck and more action. And still having the Moxes is pretty nice. So this is a turn 2 Green Suns if we want it. We don't have access to Abrupt Decay yet. It's a quick-ish Primeval Titan. Turn 1 Dryad Arbor. Turn 2 is 4 mana. Turn 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So turn 4 Titan. Which isn't the worst.
I think their only counterspell is Force of Will here that really hits us. Based on that list that we looked at.
It's also nice because the Green Suns means that turn 1 Dryad Arbor turns on all our 3-drops on turn 2.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we have all the 3-drops turn on turn 2 because of Ancient Tomb.
yeah, that's very true as well. Outside of Uro.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, just drop into Green Suns.
Yeah.
I guess there's no reason not to just go Forest. There's no, like, double mana spell on turn 2 anyway. And it means that if they go, like, Swords on Dryad Arbor, and we don't draw into a Black Source to hold up Abrupt Decay, they can't Wasteland us off the drop.
Yeah. I mean, it also means if they just do want to use a Wasteland, they can use it on the Dryad Arbor rather than the Trop.
Yep, that's very true.
Have you played the Yorion list with Maverick?
I haven't. I've played, like, Yorion, like, Bug Vial.
Okay.
That was sweet, because then you play, like, your 4 Baleful Strix, your 4 Icefang Quaddles.
Yep.
And then also played 4 Astrolabes and 4 Abundant Growth. So you had a bunch of card draw. And then you had some pretty sweet Green Suns targets, like Uro and...
Yeah, I wonder what the Yorion's flickering now that it's lost Astrolabe.
Yeah, I wonder if it's playing Abundant Growth.
That's pretty cool.
I know Arnsey was playing, is it Prismatic Prism? The 2-mana one? The 2-mana Astrolabe?
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting, pretty deep.
Prophetic Prism, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They're getting a Tundra, so this feels like a Source Splashes, yeah. And I think here if we don't draw Black Source... Oh, that's actually pretty interesting.
We can just Wasteland them here.
Yeah, which is pretty
Or,
sweet.
or you can... It depends if you want to hold on the mana and get into Titan. Next turn of land means you can play Titan. Right, because you get 2 lands off Dryad.
I think that's better.
Yeah.
We'll see if they force this. So it looks like they have Force in hand, so... If they're thinking about Force and leave this, does that make you want to Wasteland this turn instead of just putting it all into Prime Time?
I mean, I always just want to cast Prime Time. That's just me.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And to be fair, I think if I am going to try to go after their mana, it's better to go after their green sources to keep them off from like casting more creatures as well. So I think maybe just hiding the Wasteland here and playing the Troppers.
Yep, I like that.
Okay. Wasteland. Uro's pretty nice. Draw first. Drop. Nice.
Now if we just draw Ancient Tomb, we can still cast Titan.
Yeah, Ancient Tomb would be sweet. Or, yeah, even Green Suns for like Ramanap.
Yeah, I think if we didn't draw the Uro there, I would have liked Wastelanding them, like just having no mana to our 2 mana and a creature.
That's fair. They chose not to shuffle, so it looks like they're not in any sort of mana hurry, which is pretty good for them. Utopia. Okay, they're playing Utopia Sprawl. Interesting. Plague.
You can name Coatls.
Yeah.
You can't play it. Oh, you can play it too. You have swamps based on
Yeah, which is pretty nice.
Given I think our hand is developing slowly, I kind of like the idea of developing a board here.
Yeah. So like Plague and then Wasteland.
Yeah.
Takes them off white as well.
Yep.
Probably just naming Snake because then they can't use them defensively.
Yep. I mean, I assume that's their only creature that they bring in.
Yeah, I wonder if they... Do you like using Wasteland?
Yeah.
If they brought in like Containment Priest or something. Hey Bender, thanks for the follow. Let us know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Caracas. Okay. Uro. Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, but they don't get to bounce their Uro here.
They don't. Yeah, that's nice.
How unfortunate. There's the Abundant Growth.
Yeah. Chalice. A little bit late, but Chalice on 1 isn't the worst.
I wonder if there's value in like abrupt decaying their Abundant Growth, the Utopia Sprawls. How relevant that mana is for them. Abundant Growth just lets it tap for any color, right?
Yep.
So that gives them the ultimate fixing and the card draw there.
I guess Decay is right now our only answer to the Uro as well, once they get rid of 5 cards.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wait, maybe we... Yeah, sorry, I thought we were cast Decay there. Maybe we just, like, yeah, let them single their resources into Uro, blow it up.
Yeah, this pile looks sweet. They're probably playing, like, 4 Force of Will and a few Force of Negation for the combo matchups.
It's definitely the medium to play an 80 card deck. You don't have to physically shuffle it, physically search through it.
Interesting, just playing the Ice Fang there to get a card draw.
And Fuel Uro.
And Fuel Uro, yeah. Well, there's Dryad Arbor. Okay. Sylvan Library. Okay, that's a pretty good target for Prop Decay. Green Suns. Not at its greatest here.
We don't actually have anything to search for here.
Yeah. Like, Dryad Arbor?
No, we lost it. You got Swords to Plowshare.
I did, yeah.
I mean, they only have 2 cards in hand here, so I think I would hit the Sylvan Library. You have the Plague Engineer to block the Uro.
That's very true. It would have been nice to have another green source, because then we could Green Suns for Ooze and eat the Uro.
Yeah.
Which would have been sweet.
Or I probably would have Green Suns for Ramanap and then play 2 lands out of my graveyard.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's very true. Just try to play to win and try to play not to lose. I think that even though we're pressuring them, so the Sylvan Library isn't as good, getting back the Uro, getting 3 life, and then just like extending their hand 3 cards is just too good to let them have that.
Yeah.
Screws is nice, but they can cast the Uro this turn. So sadly just a little bit too slow. They do have Caracas as well, which is pretty tough, so they get to actually...
Bounce it.
Yep. Unless we draw into like a Wasteland first. Another Green Suns.
Like maybe we just get the Scoos here.
Just to do something and get it out of the deck. Also means if they want to attack, they have to find an answer to the Plague.
You can't stack damage anymore.
Sadly not. Sadly not. We're past that. Yeah, Uro really strong here. It's a cool card. I think it's got enough restriction on it for it not to be too powerful in the format. Just 5 mana. Ooh.
They don't have Yorion in hand, right?
No. This could be like a Green Suns.
They could just run Yorion in the main deck. Green Suns for 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they get their own Ramina?
Or like a Night of Autumn, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, blowing up the Chalice. Or the Dryad. Unless there's like a bunch of 1-drops in hand.
Another growth. I guess another Plague Engineer on Dryad would be sweet because it kills this and this.
Oh yeah, cool. It also takes our Dryad down though.
That's true, yeah. Oh no, it's only theirs. Oh, Deluge. Interesting. Not the greatest. Not really where we want to be.
I mean, you can Deluge for 1.
Yeah, Deluge for 1 here actually is...
And that gives you fuel for your Dryad.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, just one land would have been so good because we've got our own Uro in the bin.
Yeah, very cool.
It always feels bad when you don't draw land. You're like, I run 30 in the deck.
1, 2... I guess if they have a land, they can get the Uro back here, which is a little bit rough.
I think we take it here. Take the hit because we can actually exile a lot of their creatures from their graveyard, which means it'll be harder for them to
Yeah, that's
flash
very
it
true.
back.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Also, I think you just want to be able to like exile Uro in the... Can you exile it in the combat step?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so end of damage.
Yeah. Oh no.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Titania is such a sweet card. We may have popped off our Deluge too soon.
I think it just runs away with the game. Just not having that extra land drop has really crushed us. Yeah, I think the Caracas is just too good here that there's nothing
Protects
really we
everything.
can do. Yeah. Especially its 5/3s, just so powerful. They can also get back a lot of stuff.
I think Titania might be in one of my other lists of this particular deck as well. Like the
That's
deck we're
cool.
Playing.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a 5-drop that would be kind of cool, and Titania fits it pretty well, especially
Yeah.
as a way to just get back a land.
Gets back land, makes tokens, like... Because sometimes you're just 1 mana short of, like, green sunning for Titan as well.
Should definitely have responded to that, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm going to attack with everything. Yeah. We can, like, block one of these and they can just return it with Caracas.
Yeah,
I think we just take the early concession.
I think so.
Not much we can sadly do there. Rough. Mana was going strong and then just
Look,
hit a bit of a...
At least we got match 1 win. It's not going to be an 0-5.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And we can still run back to a 3-2, which is nice.
What matchups do we want to see? Like Miracles? That'd be a great matchup, I think.
Yeah, or someone who's trying to play Snoko, and where I think where the Field of the Dead is good, then we can be pretty good. Because without Oko, all of those decks don't have the pressure they need to win before we can get Field online.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Just decks that don't run Wasteland. Also good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's tough. I'm not too sure what, like, if I did think about those decks, how you could board differently. What sort of cards do you think of more? It feels like it's the mana that I really want to get going. Because it has been the mana that's been a bit of a...
Yeah, it sucks, like, because, like, we
times.
have just, like, not drawn lands and just drawn, like, a bunch of, like, awkward cards one after the other.
This is kind of cool because we can find an Ancient Tomb
Mm.
for the Chalice and then a creature off the other one.
I like the Sand in the Dark because, like, it gives you, like, a turn 1 play, a turn 2 play, and you sort of get to cherry pick what it is you want out of it. And I also just like having Cavern, so that when you hit that creature up once upon a time, you don't have to worry about it being like, will this be my creature that resolves? It's just going to stick.
That's very true. Underground Sea. Ponder, okay. So this could be like a Delver deck?
Or a Death Shadow deck. I think Death Shadow's been pretty popular.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Ponder does. Chose not to shuffle, so they kind of have everything they want. Wooded, alright. Cast this. Hopefully find an Ancient Tomb. They could daze it, which is interesting. No, okay, that's good. I think we'd have still don't play around days, just if they have days or a force, they have it. But otherwise it puts us in a pretty good spot. Yeah. They could also think we're just on Eldrazi so far, so not too unhappy.
I love our opponent's avatar.
Yeah, very cool.
The brush flag.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Death Shadow deck. Green Suns is interesting, not the greatest right now, so I think it's just Forest Pass with once up.
Yep.
Red, interesting.
Alright,
this could be Grixis,
deck,
yeah. So I want to do this in response so that they don't get a token off the counter magic.
Yep.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Dryad here?
So Dryad blocks pretty well. It dodges Bolt pretty well as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to let us play a lot of our lands in our hand, which means we can get to Green Sun pretty early.
Yep.
So I like Dryad here. I think it's better than... We don't need a Cavern, we don't need their Ancient Tomb. The other option is Field of the Dead.
Yep. I'm going to assume this is a Wasteland deck as well, so hiding the field for now is kind of nice.
Yeah. I think I'd definitely use the Cavern of Souls here.
Yeah. Bog. That's kind of nice in case they're playing Gomag Angler or the new Whale. That's
Yeah,
play.
so once the Dry resolves, I'd probably just play the Bog here. Like, get them off that kind of delve already and it untaps.
Probably just Bog into Forest.
You've already played Landstone, haven't you?
Yes. Thank you. I guess we could go for... I guess we do want to keep the Green Suns for a bigger threat, so...
Well, the thing is, like, the Green Suns with a Dryad out, if it resolves, gets Titan and sends a lot of Valakut triggers their way.
Yeah, that's very true. Because next time we'll have 2, 4, 5, 6 mana, so we can Green Suns for 5, so an Ancient Tomb off the top allows us to Green Suns, which is pretty nice. Unwrath's Rampage, okay. That's probably a reason to play the Wooded Foothills, if we did really think about this, because then we could get Dryad Arbor.
Oh, okay, yep.
Hey Achilles, thanks for the raid. How did you go with Maverick? I saw you went 4-3 in the challenge, I believe.
Angarth Rampage is a card I haven't seen, like, in a while.
Yeah, definitely. But pretty nice one in the main deck, 'cause it has so much fluctuation. Flexibility. What about Uro?
Yeah, I think Uro's pretty neat. Like, we've got enough fuel to, like, flash him back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd just be sitting around waiting, and they've got, you know, a 4-turn clock on the board.
I have 3 cards left. Ooh.
Day's just getting work done this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. This is where I really like Deluge and the Plague Engineers out of the board.
Yeah, well, Play Engineer is awesome against Young Pyromancer.
2, 4, 5. We still have some good draws. We go down to 9 here. 8. I like the elemental tokens as well. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're like the Kaldheim ones.
Yeah,
the
very
Kaldheim
cool.
Commander deck.
I like them a lot. Yeah, I think you said Maverick made top 8. 2 Maverick decks made top 8 perhaps, which is pretty cool. Urza is interesting as well, but it only gains 1 life. I think it is pretty much Green Suns for Uro, or once for Uro. See how they ponder. They chose not to shuffle, so I feel like they have a force. A little bit rough. 2, 4, 6. And then we can draw an Uro, go to 5, and then block 1.
We're gonna need to 1 life to play the Uro. Oh, if we draw the Uro, it's gonna come.
Yeah. We could play Foothills here to get Dryad Arbor to potentially block the Young Pyromancer.
Yeah. It buys us an extra turn.
It also means if they want to bolt it or fatal, hopefully bolted. I wonder if they're playing Stifle. That'd be pretty rough. Oh, yeah, nice. Okay, that's a pretty good trade, but we do get another 3 here, which is just bolt.
Oh yeah, it does say that the tokens have trample.
Ah, interesting. That is very interesting. I don't mind the trophy is just another answer to an early creature.
Yeah. I don't think the Leyland's any particularly good here, all the Mind Break traps.
No. I think it might just be some trims. Like Bog still seems fine. Like I think I could see Library going down to 1 because they are a pretty aggressive version of the deck.
I just like the way that Library smooths out your draws. It's like using an Unsay's Divining Top.
Yeah. Because to be fair, even if we are just extending the hand by 3, that can be enough to try to find that Ancient Tomb or creature we really need. It could be some fluff.
Yeah, I think it's Once Upon a Time is usually my first card to cut. I don't really like cutting, like, you know, the Titans or your combo pieces or your Green Sun Silver Bullets.
Yeah, that's fair. And being on the play is a lot better without the daze effect on Chalice. So
yeah.
Yeah, didn't think about a main deck sack effect. That'd be probably a different game if we had the Dryad Arbor up. Yeah, it'd be really cool. Especially with the Valakut coming as well. I guess it would have shuffled the deck, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Anger's Rampage just isn't even a card that's on my register. Like, I don't think I've played against a Grixis deck in so long in in Paper Legacy.
Especially in Paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, Delusion Engineer, the big hitters here. And Trophy nice as well, because it does kill any sort of Delve creatures. I wonder if they're even playing basics. I assume
they might be playing Blood Moon.
Yeah, for all we know, yeah, definitely.
Does that make us want to change anything in our sideboard?
I don't think so, because we have the decays and the trophies.
Yep.
But it is interesting. How does Blood Moon work with Dryad if we get Dryad down after? Is it a timestamp thing?
So I have been told it was a timestamp thing, but I'm not 100% sure. But Moto could definitely answer that for us.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
I wish there was a functionality in Magic Online where you could create board states, so then you could like understand rules interactions.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
I'll put this in my opponent's board, put this like in my battlefield, put my things on the battlefield. How does this work?
Yeah, yeah. That would be cool. It'd be cool if it came up in the sidebar as well, like stating like how it performs the different checks of like what goes first.
That's assuming that they have a real rules engine.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
This is Magic Online, not Arena.
But yeah, I think like other than like if the mana performs well, the deck performs really nicely.
I don't think this is a good hand.
No, it does have the acceleration of Ancient Tomb, but nothing to actually cast the spells we want to accelerate into. So this is interesting. If we get a Bayou, we then have access to Abrupt Decay early on.
And we have access to Abrupt Decay early on too if we have Dryad.
Yeah, that's very true.
So like playing the Heath and then following it up with an Ancient Tomb, playing a Wasteland. I like this hand a lot.
Bottoming 1 decay.
I think I'd probably bottom a decay, yeah.
And then we can go turn 1 Dryad with turn 2 Dryad around days, which is cool. And then we can even decay turn 1 if we want to.
Yep.
I could see my opponent being really, or our opponent being really aggressive here with like force on this, then wasteland us, but hopefully not. Okay. Have you ever thought about playing? Do you play Dryad decks in Modern?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever played
Red Green Titan Shift?
That's cool. Do you play any counter magic? Like, is it Unified Will? Oh, what's the one that allows you to tap for or counter for lands you have with Domain?
That one's in Apocalypse, Evasive Action.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So Dryad.
So what's cool here is you can play. You don't have to use your fetch lands with Dryad as well. They tap for mana.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can save them for Valakut triggers and field triggers later on.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay. Opponent thinking about forced here, which is nice because if they don't force this, they can't force out one other spell, which is kind of nice.
You know, I initially put one Dryad in my red green Titan Shift list when it first came out, and then sort of played a few games like, oh, this card is busted. I want to run all four of it.
That's cool.
Now the deck's getting a bit of a rework because I don't have Field of the Dead anymore.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, Fields are a pretty big loss to Modern for the better.
I think it's for the better, but yeah, it was such a good card in that like the red green Titan Shift deck. Like it's like you'd find yourself finding it more than Valakut sometimes.
Yeah. A Braid. That's aggressive. Uro's pretty nice. It also plays around days, which is cool. So we can go Trop. Cavern. That's interesting.
So it depends what you want to do here. Do you want to wasteland them, or do you want to like?
I think I want to take them off red. I guess we're not too scared of Young Pyromancer, so
Yeah.
I do want to wasteland this turn.
Okay.
Even just keep them off something like True Name Nemesis.
Yeah, the only other decision I'd have here is like if you keep your 5 mana here, 6 mana hit a Titan. But we have less Titans in this list than I normally play, so.
The one card I do want to think about is Cling to Dust, which sees play in a lot of these decks.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty good against Uro.
Uro, yep.
And that also is our 5th card in the deck,
Yeah.
in the graveyard, which is nice. Let's see what the Ponder does. Really want to see a shuffle here. They chose to shuffle. Are they going to miss a land drop? They don't. They drew a Wasteland. Interesting. They're not going to Wasteland us. Ooh, which is pretty big for them.
Chalice is great, though.
Yeah.
Do you Chalice on 1 or 2 here?
I think we Chalice on 1 because it just turns off so much of their draw, and then we have Abrupt Decay for something.
I think so too. We have off 2 drops in our deck, so.
I'm pretty happy playing Cavern. We don't really need to.
I think you have to, like, so you don't need to play Cavern, but, like, you will find that we're still 2 land drops away from a casting Uro.
Yeah, it also means that if they do want to daze the Chalice, then we can still daze and pay with Cavern and then hold up Abrupt Decay if they don't Wasteland us. But yeah, Chad had a good question. Nick C, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah, what do you do?
So I am the owner of MTG Mate.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is MTG Mate?
MTG Mate is an online retailer for paper Magic the Gathering.
Oh, that's cool.
We have modern cards, legacy cards, standard cards, commander cards.
That's cool. Do you have a lot of cards for 7-Point Highlander?
We do have a lot of cards for 7-Point Highlander, yeah.
That's cool. That's an up-and-coming format.
Yeah, I really like 7-Point Highlander. Try and buy up a lot of cool staples that we think that will go into lots of decks and stuff, so that people can actually go out there and build lots of different decks. Like, I know that you only need 1 Carpet of Flowers for 7-Point Highlander, but every green deck you run runs a Carpet of Flowers, so you end up needing like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been there. That's cool. How long's MTG Mate been around for?
This is almost on our 3rd year. Oh, this is pretty cool.
Because then next turn, any land can cast the Uro.
Any land, yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame you can't tap Ancient Tomb for like a blue and a green. That'd be pretty cool.
Nice. Pretty happy just to jam Uro. I could Wasteland, but...
So like, you could get dazed here. Sort of depends.
They can't stifle us, which is nice. I think we're in a pretty good position where they've been missing land drops and we can just...
Maybe just Wasteland them here?
Yeah. And then, you know, like hold up Abrupt Cape.
Yeah.
It's relevant. I think the only card... They're probably looking for a black source if they have Gomag in the deck, because that's a great way to get back into the game through a Chalice. But it looks like they're going to be playing with no land. Maybe we can bog them. That would be sweet. Oh, prime time. 2-4. Okay.
Not quite.
Nearly get that...
yeah, anyway, so MTG Mate, third year. I think 3 years now.
That's cool.
Entering our
Nice.
4th year.
That's awesome.
April 1st was the official start date.
Nice. Okay.
I can't remember exactly when the website went live though. So, Ramanat's pretty cool here. It's going to help us get, like, you can just Wasteland them.
That's very true.
And then play a fetch land, which is cool. The other cool thing is you don't have to use the fetch land.
It's happening.
You have to play the second land straight. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. The great part about that is that we didn't even show the cards we brought in, which is nice. So our opponent doesn't know if we're playing Plague Engineer or Talk to Deluge or etc. I don't think we really changed anything either.
No, I think it's mostly the same here. I don't think like Oof, Coruscant Group, Force of Vigor. They seem to be playing like aggressively all dual lands. So I don't think it's going to be a Back to Basics or a Blood Moon.
Exactly, yeah. That's very true.
I think just sticking Chalice is pretty good.
Yeah.
Should be our main goal against this kind of decks.
Perfect.
We finally got one!
Pretty much a perfect hand. Is there any thought to playing around like Daze or anything on turn 1? I think it's just cast the Chalice.
I think so too. Like, it gets harder and harder the longer you leave it.
Yeah. And seeing that we have then a turn 2 Dryad. Oh, it's just Wasteland. Oh, Graph Digger's Cage. That's interesting.
So don't get Dryad here. So you could Wasteland their Wasteland here, you could Ancient Tomb the Chalice, and then you just gotta lose your Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, I don't mind that, because then we have, like, Ramp here, and they also can't Daze right now.
We don't have Ramp, though, because they have Graph Digger's Cage.
Oh, of course. Okay, yeah. That's very true. Yeah, I think this Chalice here is so good.
I think we have a lot of lands in hand to sort of play into a longer game.
Yep.
And they can't Daze us here, so this is great.
So it has to be a force.
Has to be a force, yeah.
Nice. I guess they could have a Braid, but at least it's not going after one of our creatures, which is nice.
Yeah.
And if they want to Braid here, then they can't Wasteland. They're going to allow us to untap, which is pretty huge. And I think it's just slamming Dryad.
Yeah, I think Dryad here, and then probably just Wastelanding the Volcanic Island.
Might as well see what they do in end step. Because they probably have a Braid here, or like Brazen Borrow or Bounce. Okay.
Just gonna stick that second Chalice now.
Yeah, which is really nice. Bloodstained. Yeah, Graph Diggers is really interesting. They're going to Wasteland us. That's interesting. Because now we get to go...
I'd play both your lands here, so that if they do Daze, you've got a trick up your sleeve.
Oh, we can also play around Stifle because we don't have to shuffle.
Yep.
We can just tap it.
Yeah, it's one of the first things you'll get used to playing the Dryad decks is you don't have to use your fetch land, like...
Yeah, definitely.
You have Dryad out.
Which is nice here, because a big play could just be float blue and Daze. Bolt. Me. Wow, getting aggressive. Okay.
Maybe they have a Gomag to play next turn.
Yeah, just trying to fill the graveyard. That's very true. Which is going to be pretty tough, because even double Dryad block doesn't kill it. But no follow-up.
I think you just want to play the second Dryad here.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that they have Toxic Deluge? Is that
No.
something they typically play? Probably not, because they're a
especially because they're a young Pyromancer deck.
Yeah, yeah.
I would assume it's a lot of 1-for-1, like a Braid.
Yeah.
Which thankfully the Dryad just lines up really well against. Especially for an enchantment against a Grixis deck. Even that doesn't really mean anything. But could see another... Yeah, there's Brazen Borrower. Okay.
I feel like our Charles is just doing a lot of work this game. Yeah, there we go.
Oof.
And just send in the team.
They have 2 cards left.
I mean, if they force us, that's cool. It means they have no cards left and just have Brazen Borrower.
Yeah. Which is pretty nice for us.
Hopefully, like, we can race... Oh, they do race us better here. If they flip the Delver.
Really thinking about this. Who is this dude? Yeah, Nick, who are you? Where are you from? They're probably thinking if they want to like allow the Charles to resolve and just try to use the Brazen Borrower on the Delver to win.
Yeah.
But seeing that the main removal spell we have is Abrupt Decay, that's going to be a pretty tough ask to try to, you know, protect the Delver. But Graph Cage doing a lot here. Keeping us off something like Ramanap is pretty huge.
The Ramanap would have been great too. Like, you get to play your lands for free out of your graveyard, get close to the Titan.
No flip is pretty huge. Hopefully it's not another threat. It's going to be a land. Okay. Another Green Suns.
Oh no.
That's fine.
So is Graptia's Cage just like really cramping a style in the Maverick scene?
It is pretty good. You do have to find an answer to it, and you have to find an answer to it without using Green Suns, of course.
Yeah.
But they do have a 2-turn clock here, which is pretty tough if they flip this.
We have a 2-turn clock.
Oh. But they swing for 6 here, put us to 6, and then we swing back and put them to 2. So we have to draw removal here.
Oh! We should attack first though, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then see if this helps. I guess we can, yeah, do it for 2. But, I mean, they did have Force before, so...
I'm crossing my fingers.
I feel like they, yeah. Oh, this feels like Force Negation. Ah!
No!
Rough. Yeah, that was rough. Grafdigger's Cage did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Ugh. Brutal. Alright, we can come back. We've got the 2-3 coming.
The 2-3?
Yeah, the 2-3.
Just like our Ramanap excavators. They're 2-3s, right?
Yeah. Rough. Yeah, had some good outs, just
So there are some other sweet lists like this style of deck. There's one that's been floating around locally that's a green-white list.
Okay.
And it uses like Flagstones of Trachea.
Is that what Josh is playing?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's cool.
And you know, Knight of the Reliquary and stuff like that. So
Yep, Elvish Reclaimer, well. Which is very cool.
Yeah, so this one doesn't run Elvish Reclaimer because you have Chalice. They kind of don't play well.
Yep.
Play well together.
And I guess with white you can play like Swords of Plowshares in the board for the matchups
Yeah,
where you take out the
totally.
Chalice, which is cool. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a fun deck to play, especially in paper. It seems pretty cool because there's like a lot of interaction and.
Yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for Valakut. I currently have 3 Valakut decks.
Yeah.
Build.
No, it's a sweet card. It's a shame it doesn't see too much more play in Legacy. Like even like Lands doesn't play it.
Well, yeah, like just Titan really wasn't a deck until I want to say like a year or so ago. Someone was like, "Oh, this new Dryad card works pretty well. I can do some cool stuff with it."
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Because this deck is sick. It's another way to get into Legacy if you do have like a modern deck around Primetime. It's not too expensive, which is nice. There's a few jewels in it, but with the Dryad you probably could play a more budget version. And with Field of the Dead you do get you know, a little bit of bonus points for playing shock lands because they are different lands.
Ooh, even bad. You don't have to run the diamonds. It just sort of gives you access to more mana.
Yeah.
Like, it also like helps sometimes against like Blood Moon and stuff. Having diamond lets you play things, but you could definitely build a version of this deck without diamond.
Yeah, there's definitely versions without jewels. I don't mind this. It's just a turn 1 Green Suns, turn 2 Ramanap or Decay or... Yeah.
So a lot of the time, like, I don't Green Suns turn 1.
Okay.
Just because, like, it lets you get bigger, better things later on.
Hmm.
But it is cool if you want to use it to get out a turn 3 play. But a turn 2 play, but a turn 2 Ramanap is pretty awful because you can't play another land.
Yeah. Okay.
After it.
I guess, yeah, if we're up against a blue deck, it is nice to be able to hopefully play Chalice around days. Yeah. Which is pretty sweet.
Like in the dark, I probably would just go for the...
So we could get Bayou, which holds up Abrupt Decay next turn as well, or we could get Trop, which turns on all our colours.
I think probably the... I don't know, it's a tough call because you have the Bejuga Bog to help you with Abrupt Decay. It's just 2 turns later.
Yeah, and the Ramanap gets back the fetch, hopefully. Yeah. So I think it's fine just to go for Bayou.
Yeah, like you've got the Cavern of Souls to get Uro out the first time, and it's going to be a while before you're going to flash him back.
Nice. This could even be a deck where we just want to cast the Chalice for 0 as well, which is nice. Underground Sea. Okay.
This feels like what we just played.
Yeah. So I think here we do want to play like Cavern. Probably just name Cleric.
Yeah. I think Cleric's a good name here. That way, like, we can follow it up with Ramanap the turn after.
And tapping this way means we can attack with the Dryad Arbor if we want to. Nice. That's pretty huge. Legacy feels really good after the bans. I think there's a pretty wide metagame. If you look at the challenge top 32s, there's a lot of different decks. That's a great target for this Abrupt Decay. I think it gets much better. So probably just Valakut tapped.
The thing is, if you want to use the Abrupt Decay now, then yeah, I'd play the Valakut tapped. Or the Bejuga Bog. Valakut seems better. You can get Thalia off Bejuga Bog later. We can always play Ramanap next turn.
Yeah, especially if they have like an Uro as well. Just hitting it with the Bog would be really nice.
Yeah, I looked at those like top 32 lists. There were so many sweet lists out there. Like the Mono Black Curses list. Looks really cool.
Definitely. Very cool deck. Tomb. Okay. I guess that means we can cast 2 for both of these and hold up a green? No. Yeah. Yeah, we could.
No, you don't get to play an extra land off Ramanap.
No, but we get to go Cavern and Ancient Tomb to cast the Ramanap, and then these two to cast the Ooze.
I mean, if you're going to play Ramanap, I think you want to be playing the Mr. Rainforest out of the...
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Just to get some value going. And I'd probably rather hold this Ooze, because if they have an Uro in hand, they probably don't want to cast it into the Ooze. So
yeah.
I think that's a fair play, so...
I think you can actually like just cast the Excavator without having to use an Ancient Tomb or anything like that.
Nice. Yeah. It's going to hold up the mana. Also just showing that we might have something like a... another Abrupt Decay, which is cool.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know if we play blue yet either.
Jace.
Ooh.
Jace is spice. Not really spice, let's be honest. It's cool to see Jace back in the format. I'll give it that. I guess Dryad off the top would be cool, because Valakut can start coming online. But we are going to have to find an answer to the Leovold. Okay, well, that's an answer for the Leovold.
There it is. And that lets us kill Jace too, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. So we get to fetch up a Trop, play the land from turn, decay the Leo. They get to draw a card, that's fine.
It seems like a fair trade for Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, so like I saw a mono red Storm deck in that top 32 list as well. That was pretty cool.
Oh, like Ruby Storm?
Yeah.
That's cool.
There was just a ton of like cool lists, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna build all of these now.
Nice. This looks like just like a bug midrange deck. It doesn't look like a Delver deck. Him to Turak. That's probably a good reason to play out the Screws. Please be Uro. I would love to see Uro. Oh,
Yes!
yes! So good. Nice. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Hang on. Yeah, do we just do, like...
Dryad first. They're going to force that. Pitching an Uro. Oh, that's even better because they think they have this Uro.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm okay with all of this trade.
Yeah, this is really nice. That's really nice. We're just looking for green slots off the top, right? Library is fine. They have one card left. Green Suns. Oh, Chalice. That's pretty interesting. I could see a Chalice for 3 here.
For 3?
Yeah, it turns off Uro.
It shuts down a lot of what we have.
Yeah. I guess we have to think about what they might have. Like, on 2, maybe things like Baleful Strix. They're playing Hymn to Turak, which is interesting. They're probably playing Abrupt Decay, so there's no point thinking about removal, I guess, in regards to Chalice. 3 is pretty bad for us, so I think I was thinking more about getting things off Green Suns, but it does naturally turn off a lot of stuff.
Why did we use the fetch land?
To get it back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It might just be another Chalice for 1. Just so they can't decay this one and start casting their 1-mana spells like Ponder or Brainstorm.
Yeah. So you do have, like, I think you only have 6 fetchable sources
Okay.
in this deck. So it might be, like, you might want to bring back the Ancient Tomb.
Okay, cool. And is it a land we don't have currently, so
Yeah.
that's pretty nice. This is where I really like Once Upon a Time. Because you have all your mana, you just want to find stuff, and once allows you to dig pretty well.
Yeah.
They go down to 7. Makes me think they have another Strix. Strix is pretty solid. They knew about the land on top. Wooded Foothills. Happy to attack with the Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, we can replay the Dryad if they block.
That's true, yeah. Or if they have like a Hull Breacher. Chalice on 4 would stop Green Suns for 3, but at the same time we can just play around that, and Green Suns for X equals...
I think we just play the Ancient Tomb here.
more. So yeah, 4 is a pretty good choice.
If we draw a Dryad here... Whew,
Yeah, that would be
6
really
triggers.
nice. Yeah.
even a field would be good too. We'll get 2 triggers off a field.
Yeah, it doesn't look like my opponent's playing Wasteland. Our opponent's playing Wasteland.
Yep.
So we do have some longevity. Leo's fine. They do have Caracas to protect it if needed. Leo is definitely a lot better against Valakut than it is against Field, so... Ooh, okay. 2 cards in my opponent's hand.
Do we think they counter spells?
I guess we will see.
We green sunnings for 3 here to get the Dryad?
Yeah. I think that's better than Primetime. Primetime's interesting, though.
Primetime gets you, like, massive amounts of field triggers.
Yeah.
But can we pay, like, days and... or spell pierce?
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Dryad does just win the game. Yeah.
Oh, they're on 6. Okay. X is currently 3. I feel like they just have hardcast force negation. That's pretty good. I guess we just pass.
Did we use the Ancient Tomb this time here?
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely could not have used it. Hopefully it doesn't come up. We have some pretty good draws, so. No attacks. Interesting. Not even with Leo. As a I'm not gonna double block, I don't think. Ancient Tomb.
You can offer the attack with Dryad. Oh, I don't think it does anything.
I don't mind seeing if they block, because they could think about like Cabal Pit. Okay, they're just gonna go for it. That's fair.
Cabal Pit. That's a card I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, Cabal Pit really strong.
What do they think they'd be more likely to play Cephalid Colosseum?
Yeah, it's fair. Very cool inner Leovold deck.
Yep.
And I guess better in a Loam version as well. Yeah, they do have the Caracas. Hey Andy, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Okay. I guess we could attack here and return the Leo, and then just make them block with the Strix. But there's no I'd rather than not give them the extra draw than deal 1 damage, especially when we're dealing in 3s.
Yeah.
Okay, most likely to 6 here as well, just to save some time. Is Chalice worth playing when you can play Crop or Reclaimer?
So I like Chalice. I think Nathan said something interesting, like any sort of Chalice deck can top 32. The other cards don't matter. I like Chalice a lot because it does buy all lots of time to do what it is you're doing. I do love crop rotation too. So like my mono green Cloud Post list goes for Crop and Reclaimer over Chalice.
Yeah, I think Chalice gives you some play against the unfair decks because otherwise you're just a really fair deck.
I'd probably play the Wooded Foothills.
Okay.
Just because, like, if we get Field of the Dead, we can make 2 more tokens in that same turn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That's very true.
And given how close to death they are, like...
Yeah, especially down to 3, like, 1 Dryad and it's over, so...
Field of the Dead is at least like an uncounterable way to put a threat on the board.
Yeah. I guess the nice thing as well is if we draw a Wasteland, we can even get to a stage where we can Wasteland our Cavern, get back Cavern and name Dryad.
I've definitely made that before, it's pretty cool.
Just to make sure we can get it through. I don't mind just blocking here, to save some time.
Yeah. We can replay it.
They could have like Skoos, but I'm okay if they have Skoos.
What did we lose? Oh. Raminat?
Prime time, okay. Oh, Giant? Oh, so close. They have 2 cards left.
Well, okay, if it's Force Negation, they can't counter the Titan. So...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh.
Alright, I would just get double Field of the Dead here.
Yeah.
Right. We'll trigger, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Have we played a land yet?
I don't think we have.
Wooded Foothills.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, field really nice. I mean, this match has been really grindy, so luckily we're in a position where we can get the fields going.
The cool thing is, like, if they Toxic Deluge now in their turn, you can just activate a fetch land end of their turn.
Yeah.
They're still dead.
And thankfully the Deluge doesn't even deal with the prime time because they're at 3 life. So
Yeah.
pretty nice. Because we're at such a high life total, I think we can take the 3 instead of giving them a card off the Leovold for targeting it. So I'm pretty happy just to, you know, I'm probably more scared of something off the top that could get them back in this game, like an Uro, than the Leovold on the field. Him's fine. Him probably just to find out more information before they concede,
Yeah.
which, yeah. This is an interesting one.
So they have Jace, so Trophy's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Deluge is also nice because it deals with cards like Leovold without having to target, which is nice.
I assume their creatures are probably only like Leovold, Strix, Uro.
Yep. Maybe a Green Suns package like Ooze or something, but nothing much. I'm not sure. I don't think Leyline is worth it. I definitely like these 2. I don't mind the Plagues.
I like the Plague can block,
Yeah.
like, and trade with Leovold.
Yep. Force of Vigor is also pretty interesting because they are running Sylvan Library, Baleful Strix as well.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Probably not both. Do you think the Chalices are mediocre here, especially playing against an Abrupt Decay deck?
Yeah, I think they're not as strong as they could be. Like, you just end up shutting down only their Ponders,
Yeah.
Preordains, and Fatal Pushes.
Yeah. Library's still okay, even though Leovold, we do have answers for it, so
Yeah.
think this is fine?
Yeah, I like it.
This is pretty sweet.
This is cool hands. Turn 1 Sylvan Library.
Yeah. We actually... Is this our first Mox time in hand?
It's also turn 1 Dryad of the Elysian Grove into Wasteland.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty nice.
So it depends which way you want to run it.
I don't mind turn 1 Dryad. And maybe try to keep the library, however, is probably better on the field against a hindered Tirac deck.
I guess, like, which one would you rather them counterspell?
The Dryad.
That's the one I'd probably play first then.
Okay.
And then, like, you'll have 6 mana next turn if you don't Wasteland, which means you can just cast Titan on turn 2. Oh, you have to discard the Ancient Tomb here.
And if they have, like, Force Negation, this is better.
I might have, like... There's probably an argument for not discarding the Tomb there, because if you draw another land, because you get to play the extra land of Dryad, you could then slam Titan.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I think Wasteland's still pretty good, because it helps us, like... They're almost certainly going to get a dual land here.
Yeah.
We're going to be further ahead in mana.
Abrupt Decay on Mox here, Hindered Tirac, like, there's a few things they could do.
Ooh.
And there's a Sylvan Library, so... we do get to once here, which is nice. Ooze is interesting. We only have 1 green, though. I don't mind the Ancient Tomb, because then just a green source off the top means we have Prime.
Yeah. Do you want to Wasteland them here?
What do we care about at 3? We care about Leo. We don't really care about Leo. We don't really care about Uro. I think the Tomb is just better because then it means we can maybe prime time next turn.
Yep, I like that.
Wasteland in hand also means we could Mox into it. Another him would be pretty brutal. But if they tap out here for a creature, that's probably okay.
I think our opponent has had a birthday this month.
How come?
I think.
There's the him. Rough.
Their username is got a date in it. 4th of the 2nd, 1985. Oh, there's the land we needed for the.
Yeah, but sadly the him got there. Brainstorm.
It's one of those things where like you can like speculate, like they could have 2 hymns, but like how often do you have to play around it? Like
Yeah.
it's.
At least the Krakus means they can't cast Leovold this turn, which is cool. What are we looking for here? Probably like another library.
Another Titan.
Another Titan would be sweet. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, we can also green sun.
Take a
for 3.
Rabbit out.
Yep.
And just play lands out of our graveyard.
Count the Mox is okay, not the worst. Hey Orlin, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? This feels like
turn 1 Dryad, turn 2 Titan, please. Yeah, I was really hoping for that too.
Yep.
I guess we want like Assassin's Trophy here.
Yeah, trophy would be sweet. I feel like they fate sealed us and we should have shuffled, but that's okay.
No, we just want 7 mana to play around days.
Yeah, there we go. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's a start. But with 2 cards in hand, I assume they have some sort of answer for this. 2 colors that don't.
I think we're just getting Force Negated here.
Or Force of Will if they're fetching.
Oh yeah. That's right, you can hardcast Force of Will.
You can, yeah, it's pretty good.
Imagine if they printed a Force that you couldn't. Like, you'd only pay this with alternate costs.
Is there a card with... I don't think there is.
No, that card doesn't, like, exist. Evermind is the closest thing. Or, like,
Okay.
Ancestral Visions.
Cling to Dust. They are playing Cling to Dust. Interesting. Used to have a Soul Type Snowfit deck with Toothy and Pier.
The partners from Battlebond?
Yeah, cool, okay. That's sick.
You play Pier, get your Toothy to pitch to your Force of Wills.
Brought in Spellbomb. Okay. So they brought in a pretty big amount of graveyard hate. They have 1 card left. I think here we just go for...
Then you just go for Titan, right?
Yeah. 2, 4, and then 6, and then 1 for Green Suns.
So we only have 4 different lands here. So I think you want to get a...
If it resolves.
Oh.
This feels like a force.
They can't always have the Force.
They can always have the force.
Oh. This is 4 mana. Opposition agent? How funny would that be?
Are they going to cling to us to draw a card? And then maybe pitch something to force? No, okay.
So if you get Titan here, which I think is probably the right play,
Yep.
then you have to get some lands here. Now, I think a cool...
Submerge.
Okay, that's cool. Is it going on top?
Yep, but they have Jace, so they can put it to the bottom.
Oh, okay. So you need to get different lands here. So you could get like a fetch land and draw a Field of the Dead, or you could get like a Cavern of Souls and name Giant, so that we can make sure we can resolve the other ones.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey D5, welcome back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, cool.
So like any land now gets field active, and if we draw a Giant, you know, don't have to worry about Jace bounces and stuff like that.
That's really nice. I guess if they, Fate Seal us put Giant to the bottom, then we don't have a shovel effect right now. But
Yeah.
we can definitely draw into one.
I believe. Field of the Dead are going to get us there.
Oh
Yes, it's
and we got
not
this.
so
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Spellbomb's fine.
We weren't planning on casting Uro anytime soon.
We do have Trophy as well, which is nice, so maybe we can get to a situation where our opponent's just spending too much resource on the field and tokens. But
Now, do we attack Jace here, or do we attack their life total?
I think we attack Jace right now. Yeah, and try to get them down on time as well.
Yeah.
Because if the third game goes long, then I do want to have a time advantage.
Yep.
You played War of the Spark sealed with your housemate. Interesting. Oh, Leo's actually pretty nice. Yeah, I guess we can draw Caracas. Once. That's pretty sweet. How do I want to tap? Probably like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Didn't find a land.
Oh no.
Rough. And there's the trophy. I guess we cast it because we might as well just try to get more creatures on the field.
Yep. That one can at least attack into Jace and not worry about Leovold.
Yeah, that's very true.
But Corrupt Decay is just so good.
Really nice.
Control decks with uncounterable removal.
Spellbomb's only one-sided. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you choose the target.
That's pretty cool.
I see Soul Guide Lantern getting a lot of play.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you can exile things like Uro.
Yeah, you choose something to exile straight up, and then you can decide if you want to like get rid of stuff later, I think.
Yeah, which is nice. Decay. I guess they have the Caracas, which is tough, so nothing really good to decay here.
At least with Oko, you could Abrupt Decay him.
That's true. They're going to cling the Prime Time. That's fine. They
No,
didn't
it
tap
was
the Caracas.
Once Upon a Time.
Ah, interesting. Ah, so they can draw a card. Yeah. Fate Seal us. Put a card on top.
So wait, Cling the Curse draws a card?
If it's a
If it was a creature card, you can. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it had a draw card mode.
I think instead we just have to go after Leo here, so we can see if we can attack with the
Yeah.
zombie. Which isn't a great spot, but they kept a land on top, which is interesting. It also means we can hit the Caracas, which is nice.
Yeah, this game is very grindy. It's always a hard slog when your opponent has a Jason 5 cards in hand.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there just drawing live off the top. You know what we need?
Trophy.
Miscutter Hydra.
Mistcutter Hydra would be very cool, yeah. I do like Mistcutter Hydra. It's tough as well, because I don't think we have a out to the Leo here, because the trophy's not even around. They're going to fetch an upkeep.
I think the trophy's on the bottom of our deck.
Oh.
I mean, we're getting exiled next turn, so I think you have to go for it. Oh, we're still dead though, right?
Yeah.
Our non-existent hand becomes our... Is it your hand becomes your library with Jace?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Probably just running this back. I don't see any changes that are really needed.
Yeah, unless they think the Charles of the Void is any good, but like, it just shuts down their cantrips and...
Hey John, welcome. Hey Timmy C. Hope you're well. John, did you play in the challenge? They were playing Ponder and Brainstorm.
And Cling, so...
Yeah, so I don't mind like dropping the onces perhaps.
Yep.
Something like this. Probably playing tomorrow. Yeah, it's fair. I think the one tomorrow is like a... Oh.
No.
a 2 a.m. start for Australians. Okay, this is not too bad.
You got your chalices you want to back in.
Yeah, exactly. So, pretty happy to bottom the Valakut.
So the Valakut's interesting because it's like it's pretty good when you draw the Dryad on its own. Like you then at least have something to work with.
That's true.
But it does feel like the worst of the lands there. So
Yeah, because the Trop gives us green and blue, and the Misty gives us blue and black. Yeah. And then hopefully here we can. Yeah, I mean resolving this Tomb into Charles would be sweet. If they want to force this, that's fine. We have a second one. I guess force into Wasteland would be pretty huge. Okay. They also have Decay, so they don't really have to speed into it. I think dual land pass would be pretty sweet. We're not going to see that. Another Tomb. Charles for 2?
I mean, like you only shut down like the
Baleful Strix and him.
right? And Baleful Strix.
Yeah. I think just another Chalice is fine.
On one,
Yeah.
just to lock it up. Do you play the Wasteland there to like make them make bad mana decisions, or?
Yeah, I could have probably... I don't think we're playing around days, so I could have just held the Wasteland to see if they fetch in response for some reason, but I assume they have to go for duels here. The big issue is that Charles for 2 doesn't stop Abrupt Decay. Library's pretty good. And I guess we did just give away that we have Wasteland, so they do have the luxury of fetching for basics. Okay, that's pretty good. I guess they could have their own Leo next turn. Going down to 10. This definitely feels like Leo, yeah. I think every game's been turn 3 Leo. It's been really good.
Probably just runs like 3 of them, mill 4 of them in the deck now,
Yeah.
seeing as you don't run.
I don't really want to trade the Wasteland for the Underground Sea because they draw off the Leovold, but I do have to think about like Jace next turn.
I think probably. Oh, I guess they're drawing an extra. I mean, they're probably going to get the mana anyway off Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
Between the 4 cards, they'll see if you do Wasteland them.
Mm.
It's probably just better for us to be like building towards Valakut.
Yeah, that's very true.
Wastelanding here takes us off Valakut being active.
Down to 6. Down to 2.
So greedy.
Interesting.
Misclick?
I assume
Maybe?
one has to be Uro, yeah.
Oh, okay. They don't have the second green for Uro yet.
They do have Caracas.
Oh.
It's pretty strong.
Do you Wasteland the Caracas?
I don't think so, because then they still draw off the Leovold.
But they get infinite Uros and stuff.
They do. I think hopefully we can draw into a removal spell here.
Yeah.
They're going to leave it, which is nice, because it turns on Pajuga Bog, it turns on Scavenging Ooze.
I'm surprised they didn't bounce it. I guess they wanted to protect their Leovold.
That's interesting.
Oh, they're on 5. I thought they were on 2 for a second. But they gained the 3 from Uro.
Yeah.
You could just Abrupt Decay Leovold win here.
I think we Wasteland the Caracas and then Abrupt Decay Leo.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But then they get so close to just Uro, which is tough.
Yeah, Uro's a tough slog.
But
I mean, like, the other thing is if you don't Wasteland, you're still closer to Valakut working.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, they let it happen.
I guess because like if they try to respond with Caracas, they
just want the 2 cards, I guess.
Yeah. Which at least this puts them down to 3, which means they can't get another card off the Sylvan Library.
Hopefully they don't get a green source off the Sylvan Library, or have one, but
the big issue is now
11 cards a big ask.
Uro, yeah. Uro really strong here.
That's right, we'll just get Abrupt Decay off the top again. Or Titan. Titan would be sweet.
Yeah, Titan would be sweet.
Although I feel like our chances of resolving Titan are slim and none. Our opponent's going to have to discard 2 cards in a turn, having too many. Oh no, 1 card, they got an extra land.
Hey Dizzy, did you find Allurance? I assume not. This is tough, like we don't really have a great out of the Uro.
No, we just have Abrupt Decay. And even that they can... Oh, they can't recast it straight away.
Maybe there's a world where the onces would have been better than Charles's here, because then we could dig for Bog or Scavenging Ooze. But, yeah, tough.
Well, this was like a mini Titan.
Yeah.
Like,
do you mean like this?
No. With 2 and a green, you search for any land and put into play tapped.
Okay.
Just get 1 land.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
It always feels bad with Jace getting play when you have nothing in hand. If they keep it on top, you should probably fetch.
Yeah.
Alright.
Bottom. Okay.
Draw a good one.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah. How do we win from here? Like, you'd have to get... Oh, yeah, no, you can win from here. Like, assuming they have, like, air in their hand, you could draw a Titan and kill them with Dryad and Valakut triggers.
Okay. I'd love to know what 1-drops they are playing. I mean, the Kling went to the bin. We know they're playing Ponder and Brainstorm, but maybe that's not enough. Yeah, that's going to be a concession. Look, we started out really strong. We started out with a great win. I feel bad for them. But the deck overall, like, it felt pretty nice.
It felt like we were like a little like behind a turn at times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, perhaps there's a build with the full for Mox Diamonds. Like, it did feel like Loam at a few points would have been pretty nice to have in the deck.
Yeah, I think like you could definitely like, if you didn't want to play the Uros, because the Uros are a little bit hard on the mana, you could cut the Uros back and then just run more solid green creatures. So like 2 Tireless Trackers, 2 Ramen Up Excavators, so they aren't just like green sun silver bullets.
Yeah, that's very true. Leo was also a card that we discussed, and to be fair, Leo would have been kind of cool there if we take out the Chalices to still have hate against Ponder and Brainstorm. But it's all about finding room.
Like the cool creatures you want to add are like ones that cost 2 and a color as well, because you have Ancient Tombs.
Yep. Yeah.
So like you could find Hull Breacher might actually have a home in this list, right? And just flashing it in, say like a Leovold. You obviously don't get to draw the card, but you do stop them from drawing cards. Yeah. And you get mana, which lets you cast your Primeval Titans.
Yeah, especially if you go up on the Mox Diamonds and you have so many more like turn 1 Mox Diamond and Ancient Tomb plays, which is pretty cool. Were there any other like utility lands you were thinking of on top of like Bojuka Bog and Caracas?
It's kind of hard to find like room in the list. Like you could definitely bring in things like, so like in my Cloud Post list I run things like Maze of Ith and Tabernacle and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I do think I would prefer to probably run more Titans. I think like the Titans just have the ability to let you sort of carry the game away, so you definitely want to improve your chances of drawing them.
Yeah.
2 is like the sort of like you'll see it sometimes. 3 is like you'll see it most of the time. And 4 is like you might find positions where you get stuck with 2 in hand. But that's not the worst thing against decks with counterspells, so...
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it was sick. A huge thank you to you coming on for a stream.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
A collab.
A collab.
Yeah, this deck is definitely one that I enjoy, and I think a lot of players who like Green Sun's decks would enjoy playing. There's a few different variants you can play, but this is probably one of the more popular ones with the color combinations.
Cloud Post has Green Suns as well now too.
Yeah, Cloud Post of course is another Green Suns deck, which is pretty sweet. Which may be another collab down the line. We could get that going. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously Nick is from MTG Made, which is a sponsor of the channel, an Australian online card retailer. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good way
cool.
of describing it.
MTG Made do a lot of pop-up stores around Brisbane LGSs where you can go and either buy cards or sell cards, which is pretty sweet. Yeah.
Anything? Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
I'm going to see who else is playing. Actually, Legacy Pit's playing, which is cool, so I can send you guys over there. But I'll be back on... Yeah, we coordinated outfits, which is cool. Got the MTG Mate rep going. Raid the Legacy Pit. Nice. I'll be back on Thursday night at 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. I have some content coming out with Phil Gallagher next week with a matchup series on Maverick and D&T, which is cool. And then... Yeah, the monthly Mav as well, which should be pretty sweet to look at the 5-0 lists from the previous month since the unbanning of a few good cards. So that should be pretty cool. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me here. If you want to find me on YouTube, you can find all my streams and my YouTube exclusive recorded content. And then, of course, at the Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, cool. Enjoy the Legacy Pit. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.